acting that brought me alive. Though we're all like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi.
Even worse for them, seeing that the Camille was taking top lane tier 2 and she might just take it right in front of this Ahri with the damage from her Q. The Camille hookshot actually misses and Ahri's gonna take her down, I would guess, but the Ahri missing every spell and Camille taking her down! What?
Ryan UV coming up big again.
As he can. Magma has to flash ult or something.
It's Svenska, Mike's range.
Going in onto the ADC, big Renato ult hitting almost everyone. It's gonna be a wipe, as you would expect, but this could be still a good fight. Oh my god, Orianna ult on 4 people, but it's not gonna be enough. The Ezreal gets hit by the Senna E. Has a slow now and so much attack speed. She's gonna be able to kill the
going.
backline.
Doesn't care.
Going in with ult. But that's a 1v5
going
that
in
might be a bit
1v5.
overextended, but she just doesn't care at all. She knows she has the GA to wipe everyone, and that's just so much damage coming out from the Ezreal and the Irelia. And that's just a 5-man wipe immediately after getting the soul.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first day of groups. I am immediately first day of playoffs. Wow, man, I can't give 5 seconds. I'm joined here by Patrick. Hello, man.
Hello, hi. I'm so happy to be here for the first day of Division 2 playoffs, and we have a banger of a game today,
Yes.
or banger of a series. I mean,
We have INT Academi, who snatched their spot right under Kai's noses. We're still a bit. It hurts. It hurts, but such is life. Versus such a good performing team of Lundqvist Darkside. They only lost 1 game in the entire season.
yeah, INT, they maybe got into playoffs, but now it's time to get stomped and go home. Maybe it's better so that we don't embarrass ourselves today, that we let them do it instead.
It would have been more fun to see Kai, but here we are. We are casting INT Academi versus Lundqvist Darkside, and let's look at what INT Academi has brought for us. Nice intro. Thank you very much, guys, for sending it over. And I've done a bit of research on these 2 teams. I'll talk about what they've played so far. But Patrick, what stands out to you from just the OPGGs?
I mean, what stands out to me is not only from the OPGGs, but from some inside information, or it's more public now since it already happened, that the INT Academy bot lane has been promoted to the Div 1 team, and they have played the last games in the regular season and will be playing, from what I heard, in the promotional relegation tournament. So that's going to be exciting to see, and that highlights us that maybe there's something going on in the INT Academy bot lane that's going to be interesting to see today, and maybe they can pull something off.
Yeah, maybe. Nord and Max have been playing quite well from what we spectated them in our streams, and definitely they've taken a step up. The INT esports main team is not doing the best in Division 1, so they're making a change. Nord and Max have been trading with that team, so they have a bit even higher experience than maybe the rest of the group they're together with.
Yes, but usually that in between the divisions, I feel like the bottom the teams from the division higher and the top teams from the division lower, they're mostly on the same level, if not sometimes that the lower division teams from the top places are better than the bottom teams from the division above them. So
Maybe.
it's like going to be very interesting to see, especially now since INT Academy has a very difficult game against them. They're going against the Lundqvist Darkside, which is the #1 team from the Group A that, as you mentioned, has only dropped 1 game this whole group stage.
Yeah, and if you look at their OPGGs as well, real quick, before the games begin, one thing that they really want to highlight: these 2 teams have the exact same playstyle. So top lane, we have both players playing only tanks. There has been one game of not a tank being played on that top side. Jungler is aggressive. Mid laner is playing those ball champs, so Orianna, Syndra, as well as more like mage centric. And bot lane can most of the time be aggressive, sometimes with an enchanter support. Otherwise, they can do also the Jinx, they can do the Kai'Sa, they can do the Varus. So it's very much basically the exact same playstyle between these two teams, and it's going to be really a skill check between who can actually get them out better.
Yeah, we see. Yeah. Yeah, we see that there's very many similarities we can see in the champion pool. Maybe not from the OPG, but what have them been playing throughout the season in Soul Division 2. And as you mentioned, it's very like your standard team fight composition. We have on tank, front line, on top lane. We have a proactive jungler that can do things early game, and then we have a kind of flexible bot lane that can play different styles. They can adjust to the situation. They can play more for an aggressive lane. They can play more for a scaling game. Sometimes they just play with an engaged support, and a few times it happened that they even have an starter in the bot lane. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's going to be any change, or if there's any team that prepared something more, something special for the playoffs, or if they're going to keep the playstyle that have worked for them throughout the season, both teams, and it's going to be a skill check in this series play.
Yeah, so the top laner, Cognac, who is written here as Going Game, they're the same person, just they're on Challenger mode, he's different. But Going Game has played one Ambessa game in the entirety of SOL so far in this season, in this year, and it was against Kai, of all people, of all teams, and they won the game. No, I want to say they lost the game. They lost the game. It was against Fiskface Godly Ribbon in that match, in that series.
Yeah, how can you forget? How can you forget the Fiskface Ribbon? Sadly,
an adventure.
We're not Fiskface is not here today playing in the playoffs. We have our boy Nude that's in the chat right now. He's going to be playing instead on in the academy. He already know what I was going to cover this game and what I'm going to focus mainly on when I'm going to analyze the gameplay. And you know, I hope he can perform and prove everyone wrong that he is capable of pulling off against the higher teams, higher tier teams. Because he had some pretty decent games so far when he played in the Div 1 team. I'm really excited to see what he can bring onto the table.
Yeah, Nord is or Nerd. Is it Nord or Nerd? How is it better pronounced?
If you want to do the English pronunciation, you say Nord, but then if it's like the Swedish one, you say Nud.
Nud. I'll most likely fall back to Nord. But yeah, he's been a fan favorite on this channel, being cheered on whenever he's on screen. So tonight there are going to be some cheering on for him as well, as they have a very, very hard matchup into Lundqvist Darkside. And winning this game would be, just looking from the brackets, a very big upset.
It would be, but you know what they say, sometimes even the biggest heroes can bleed. And we'll see if INT Academy can make them bleed. And we have seen upsets of teams going like in lower, especially in lower divisions. One team that I especially remember was it Yolo Swag Motorwag, that in their groups they went 4th place and then they went 2-0, 2-0 into 2-0 into 2-0 in the finals, and they just stomped playoffs.
Yeah. It's all like, no matter what, it's just a best of two, best of three, right? You win 2 games, like they can be a bit more. Honestly, you can say that they're lucky. A good invade, a good early kill, a good 1v1 can snowball into just 2 victories. So it's not that easy to drop 2 games in a row, even if you're such a high roller coming into the series. not taking away anything from the other team. They have to show up, they have to play, and they have to press the advantages.
Yeah, for sure. But I think going from the best of ones that we had in the group stage now to the best of three series, this is the format that starts to show which teams are more prepared and which teams can adjust more into the series. And even if sometimes even teams drop game one, but then they bounce back and they adjust with drafts, with game strat, and they can easily adapt into the series and show that they are the better team. And in best of ones, it's as you mentioned, sometimes maybe a little bit of a mess up early game. Maybe the pathing was not great from the
Yep.
jungler. Maybe a 1v1 kill happened. Maybe a 2v2 kill happened, and that's not about the game. But here there is more room for error and more room for improvement throughout the whole best of three series. And sometimes we get storms that are 2-0, but sometimes the games can just turn around and teams adapt really well. We'll see what both teams can show today.
I feel like it's going to be a very fun matchup with both teams going for that team fight style. So unless one team is just outright very much ahead in the laning phase, there's going to be clashes, there's going to be skirmishes, there's going to be objective fights, and that's what we like.
Since both teams are playing for sort of like a team fight style composition, if any team loses or wins, I'm gonna call it an ADC gap. Just saying.
So what you're saying, either the Nord wins it and it's his MVP, or they lose it and it's his fault.
Exactly. He does not have any way. It's either up or down. He either will be praised and be like, okay, no, this 1v9 the game, or I would be like, oh my god, this guy is such an inter.
So regardless, we're gonna be a lot of the time is gonna be spent on him, looking at him, and hopefully seeing him carry from your side. And we are in draft. Darkside starting on blue because they were the upper seed, and INT Academi coming in on red. Instantly done a Fury ban.
Yeah, the higher seed team gets to choose which side they're starting game one, and we see already the Fury ban. Very strong, very brained champion after the changes, and still not being nerfed on hotfix. Just waiting for the next patch. I don't know what Ion is doing. I don't know.
That the champion has been honestly not even close how strong it's been for basically since its rework, to a degree where it's either pick or ban in basically any scenario. Regardless, the Ambessa being taken out, so we are going to get a full tank top lane most likely with the Viego LeBlanc answer from INT Academi.
Yeah, so far it's pretty standard bans. Maybe besides the LeBlanc. LeBlanc is more of a like a target ban for mid laner of Lundqvist Darkside. And now we see Garen ban, which will indicate if Lundqvist doesn't take the Cassante, then INT Academy were to go for that. And we see an Ornn first pick, then
So-
might be going for the just trade off that, all right, you get the Ornn, we get the Cassante, just a handshake, tank top lane, just a brawler matchup.
So both Going Game and Cognac are avid Ornn players, and it's basically you pick it if you get it, and there you go. Cognac instantly
There we
answers with the
go.
Cassante. Good protection on your part there.
Now we should see an early AD pick or jungle pick. As we see
Okay.
now, Maokai being picked up, he can still be a flex
Reston-
pick into the support. Gotta remember that. But he's still a very stable jungler.
Yeah,
And
Reston has played Maokai before, and this is his only tank jungler that he's played.
whoa, we can see a Zed
Okay.
insta log blind
Okay.
pick.
That's
Okay.
a Zed insta lock for Lundqvist Darkside, and they're going hard into this game with a Syndra counter on the side of Salty.
We have a Syndra answer, but the Zed insta log. Hello? Is this season 3? Faker, what was that?
I mean, to be fair, Zed has risen in popularity lately. He still can go jungle theoretically, but I don't see it with Gwen being there.
No, of course. And I remember, if any one of you guys have watched the first Stand tournament, there has been a game where Zeka picked Zed in one of the series. I think it was against Flying Oysters, the team from the Pacific East Pacific Asian, or however that league is named.
I believe it was in LEC or LPL recently as well. I was watching it this split.
Oh, right
I know
now
I saw it this
the
split as well,
Ezreal
but
Star.
regardless, do you think this match has been pre-picked already on somewhere else because the picks were so fast and in order? Actually,
It could have been, but
yeah.
I mean, we see here we have Alistar and Ezreal into Rel and Kaisa.
Okay.
Alistar is a pretty good pick. I mean, if this was not in order, I would assume that Rel got countered by the Alistar pick.
Yeah.
But that right now doesn't indicate anything really. But we see it's going to be very, very interesting matchup in the mid lane. I'm most excited to see that one because I right now, everyone might know me as the Uwu eager enchanter player, but back in season 5, I used to be a Z OTP and I used to love that champion back in the day.
Well,
I'm very interested to see how it's going to be play out in season 15.
you're gonna see it, and the only target that is really sort of immobile without any self-sustain is Nord.
I
So
mean, with Kai'Sa, you still have the self build with your ultimate, but it's not
yeah,
going
but
to be always up. I think most likely the target will be the Syndra for the Z, that he can just jump on her because you can easily dodge her EQ with your shadows and your ultimate if you time it correctly. Uh, and I think Kai'Sa will have a little bit of a struggle playing into the team since they have an Ezreal, and she can struggle into poke early, especially since she's weak until she gets the evolve on her abilities.
and who do you think won the draft? Chat, you can also vote in the poll up there. But Patrick, without nameplates, so this is not going into the fact that our Lundqvist is going in as the clear favorite of this matchup. Just champions. Who do you think won it?
I see a clear favorite for me right now, and that's Lundqvist Darkside, the blue side draft, purely because the Gwen pick into 3 tanky champions. Like it's going to be just tank shredder, and we have a Z that can easily just go in on the squishy target and try to pick one out, and it's going to be very, very, very hard for them to play fights if Lundqvist Darkside manage to get ahead, because that Z will just be able to one shot anyone he touches.
I would counter that by saying I prefer Ints a bit more because it has less sort of check marks what needs to be done for them to be in a winning position. Plus, both Salty and Nord can go that Zonias, which would basically make the Z useless in assassinating them if the fight plays out as it should.
Yes, but we gotta may take into account that you see this draft on the right, and there's not a lot of physical damage in the mix.
True.
There's a lot of AP damage coming in from their side. I think Kaisa should maybe opt into more of an AD build, but as you mentioned, you can go for the Zonias to have that more survivability as well as the Syndra. And I think she also has a pretty alright peel with the Maokai and with the
Yeah,
Rel.
exactly.
But as I said, it's going to be hard because you have the Gwen, the Tank Shredder, and uh, after her changes, especially now, she has risen in popularity again, and she is a little bit, from what I heard, she's a little bit weaker, like with her Qs, but she gets a lot of more from just weaving her autos in with her E,
Mhm.
uh, and she's still really good against the tanks. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very interesting to see what she can pull off and if she can be able to be that tank shredder to get through the front line, as well as
Yeah.
that. From what I heard, that after the changes, her clear speed improved a little bit early. So we'll see how that goes because we have a Maokai on the red side that will probably have a fast first clear, and he's the type of champion that can just skip camps and be able to get an early gank.
Mhm.
And Gwen is the more champion to like that likes to full clear, get as much money as much XP as possible, hit those early power spikes that she has on the 1-2 items. And Maokai is more like you know what? As long as I get my team ahead, I'm fine. I can be like 1, 2 levels behind. As long as I have my ultimate, I will be able to peel. I will be able to get vision with my ease, with my stabbings, and he is going to be fine just being like a second support for the team rather than being the carry or more of a uh, main character in the team.
Yeah, and we've seen what Rune can do on that Gwen. So, you know, the Gwen will be, like you say, very impactful, especially into the tanks. The only thing that can really prevent her from winning out immediately might be that Xante. So if one member of Darkside gets fed, you do have that go away from me button from the Xante, so on the Z or on the Gwen, for instance.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's like going to be for the Cassante. I mean, the laning phase in the top lane, I think, is going to be sort of important because I think both junglers put over around the bot side. So it's going to be interesting to see how that 1v1 matchup is. And as I say that we are jumping straight into the game.
We are in game on the right side, INT looking to upset, looking to deny the doubters in the cast today, and looking to prove themselves to continue in these playoffs on the other side. The strong Lundqvist Darkside coming in only 1 game loss. Can they get double that today and get knocked out by INT, or will they continue their strong split? We're gonna find out maybe a bit later, because this is just now a 5 point.
Yes, sir. And as we see, the Z, he just doesn't care. He goes for the electrocute ignite setup. He says, I don't need TP.
Oh,
I don't need to
mama.
play with the tempo. I'm going to solo kill you in lane. I'm going to show you how dominant I can be. This guy is just like going pure aggro. And we've seen times where a laner, especially in our solo queue games, a guy goes ignite versus teleport, and then he gets solo killed even though he has the ignite advantage, and he's like, "Oh my god, I don't have tempo because this guy solo killed me, and he has TP as well."
Did Cronin just, he queued up for solo queue, and then his team was like, "Hey, dude, we're playing," and he's fine, and he already queued up Zed, and now he wants to play Zed, and he's playing Zed.
Yeah, he's like, "Guys, let me play Zed. I can carry trust. I will get fed." And he's like, picking ignite, electrocute. He's going to most likely be trying to get for the early trades because after the recent, not so recent right now, but not too long ago, the domination tree was buffed a little bit. So the electrocute gets a little bit more value now, early and later. So it's more worth to take, especially if you're playing something like the Z, if you want to get that early pressure. And if he goes for that WEQ combos, or as we see right now, that on the early 2 levels before he gets level 3, 4, he just plays with his Qs, trying to get the CS, and he holds his W or E until he gets the CS, or he can be in the safe spot.
Yeah, like right now, Salty's doing everything he should. He's letting this lane be pushed into him so he can get those pokes off. But look, like you say, immediately as that level 3 hits, Cronin just takes half of Salty's HP, and everything that he's worked so far this game has been just nullified off of that one trade.
As I mentioned, the waiting for the level 3 to get that WEQ combo, he's it perfectly, gets the good trade on Salty. Salty is still not popping any potions, as well as the Z. They're both relatively healthy. Salty is more of a downside than Cronan, because Cronan is going for that just early killing vibes. He got the D shield, he doesn't go for any of that. But that you can go on set, that you go D blade or even longsword 3 pots. Now Gwen being spotted on the river, avoiding the river, and now trying to go into the enemy
Leon.
jungle. Will she be able to get there in time, or will she be able to snatch that blue buff away?
Restin is level 3. Leon is 1 level up. His clear was so much faster here. And he will get that scuttle most likely. Can Restin compete? I don't think he can because Cronan has the pressure mid. There's nothing this Maokai can do. He did ding 4, but he might be in trouble. He gets knocked up back into the Z. Cronan does have half HP, but he's still a Z. He can just W over the wall and taking Ignite, taking down not enough. Actually, an overstep by Cronan. He did not flash the stun from the Syndra, and Salty picks up the first kill. Actually, it's Nord from the W, but it's Salty's work.
W from downtown from INT Nord, and we get the first blood for INT Academy. And as I said to you, sometimes you take the Z, you pick the Ignite, you try to get for the early kills, and what you do, you get too excited, you get too confident. You go in, you die, you don't have TP, and now you do so much.
It's always on those early game champions, the Zeds, the Dravens, the Renekton stop, and all those like, oh, I'm good early, I'm strong, and then you overstep Cronan, going all in on Restin. Restin just uses the flash, is okay, survives the ignite, but Cronan gets punished by a good Salty roam.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, Ronan gets punished, especially that he went into the enemy jungle after taking a bad trade from the Syndra and being forced to use his potion, not having a lot of damage because he only had that T shield. And he didn't realize that he didn't have enough damage. He tried to go in for the Maokai, did not have the damage, and he just goes in with W and Ignite, and he has no way out.
Yeah. And now it is just about a 200 gold lead, actually 150 now, for the side of Salty in the mid lane. That's it, what really came out of that, plus a 200 gold lead from North. So it's not game ending, it's just the first blood. So far, INT are going pretty strong with Restin actually trying to go on mid, but Cronan does have the flash, does have the W and the ultimate, so I don't think Restin will be able to get onto him anytime soon. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it was just the support from both the support and the jungler to get the wave in, being able to do something more proactive on the map, move around. And as we see now, we have a trade that the INT Academy is going for the bot lane, going for the Drake, try to stack those Drakes for a soul potential. Meanwhile, Gwen taking the Void Grubs, and now will she be pathing toward bot, or will she just be clearing? Yeah, she's waiting for that blue buff to spawn. They just continue clear. That's totally fine.
It's pretty standard, the grubs for Drake trade. We've seen it happen so many times, and that's really about it. Everything that's happening on the map. Like you say, the Gwen will be pathing toward that bot side in the next few minutes, whereas Reston will be pathing towards that top side. Both of those buffs spawning on the counter side of the map. So actually, as Max goes in, gets knocked up, there we see the counter pick by the Alistar, and Max is just forced to walk away and just take a bit of damage. That's it from the potentially good engage there.
Just a little bit of trading in the bot lane. Nothing really happened there. And I mean, going back to the trade that grabs with the Drake, I think that both should be fine with it, but wait, now we have action in the bot lane.
Bot lane, America once more. Max is low. That bar is taking a lot of damage. America is gonna flash away, and that's immediate good kill by the cow. North has to flash away as well to prevent himself from dying, gets stunned up, but is far enough away to be alive, and that is just a kill for the cow.
It is a kill for the cow, and Nord was not aware of that. Gwen was also lurking behind, and now we see that we're setting up the dive, and there's nothing that he can do, and he just gets taken away. Big wave, big cannon wave missed. Also plays for the side of Lundqvist Darkside, and that's a really, really good play from them.
And this was a substantial play here coming in, because you take away both the lives of the bot lane of Nord and Max, you take away their flashes, and you take away an entire wave and a half of XP from Nord, which will bring him almost about 15 CS behind Caitanya.
Yeah, and we see now if we look at the graphs, it's like we see a little bit of advantage for inside in the top side of the map. We see a little bit of gold here and there on the mid lane. We have a solid 200, and then jungle top we have just like a few CS difference, which means that we have a little bit of gold. Now it turned to the Gwen favor in the jungle, but we see on top lanes around about 100, and bot lane we see that it's moving more towards soon to be 1k golded for the Ezreal, which is going to be scary because you don't want to put an Ezreal that is a
Yeah.
very late game and scaling champion against that Kai'Sa that's more of a mid game powerhouse.
Yeah, and looking at the build, I think Nord will go towards more of that AP style, and as you say, while strong in the mid game, will get down countered by the tanks. Now, Amarkley once more, good two-shot barrage, and look at that, immediate trade win for the side of Lundqvist, and it's so hard now for Nord and Max to play off of that loss earlier.
It's very hard for them to play, and you mentioned that she's going for more for that AP build, but I think those items indicate that she's going for a Kraken, which is
Oh,
more
I'm
early
blind, I'm
power.
sorry, I said Kraken.
More early power rather than something more like maybe like a Yunta or any other item in the more of an AD build. But then Kraken also can indicate that she can go for a Kraken Queenso in Flashers, which will be more of a hybrid on-hit build that she gets evolved on all of her 3 abilities. And that's a really good build because you do mix of damage and both good against more squishy targets and more also against tanks.
Now we see level 8 on these mid laners. Do you think Cronan is missing opportunities here by not going for ganks, by not roaming much? Because actually there's a fight for these scuttles, and Reston is good positioning by him. Leon might be in trouble. Salty picks up the kill, and that's a good catch onto Leon to prevent those grubs and get a kill.
Really nice to prevent the grubs and getting that objective stack or objective point for the feats of strength. Now we
Yes.
see INT having both 2 kills and 2 objectives onto the feats of strength, which will put them closer to
Cronan?
that boot upgrade. And now Zed, with a good interrupt on the recall, being able to just walk up and get the WQ. Now he has to be careful because he has no W. And
Things
that's
coming on a bot. The Alistar is behind enemy lines. Can he get any damage onto Nord? He can get the knockup, but that's about it. Max has arrived in time. And again, another two-shot barrage to kill both, to take them both. That's just damage and not a kill. As we see mid laner, Salty gets a good stun onto Krona, and just a stun ultimate unleashed
God.
power. Feats of strength taken by Salty.
Hello? I thought the red side team was called INT Academy. What is that mid laner doing? That guy thinks he's like prime faker Zed from season 3. He does not have the damage to trade.
Now the bot lane of Lundqvist might be in trouble. Flash in from Max, it's another knockup, and the pressure is onto Leon. He has pressed W. Gwen is intargetable. Amarkley flashes away, but it's followed up by Restin, who picks up the kill. And now it's a TP from Go in game, as well as Cognac is here. So everyone is here apart from Cronan. But that's just a disengage. It's just the 1 from 0 and so much burned.
Really well played by INT Academy, and now they're trying to get that break. We see TP from both top laners, and being able to get that fight means that they get the feats of warfare, which puts them one step closer to getting feats of strength.
Yeah, they just need one objective or one more objective or the first threat, and they have the feats of strength. And look at that mid lane difference now being built up by Salty. He got the solo kill. Actually, the bottom side, we just missed a dive by Cognac solo. We didn't even pay attention to that because it's just a farm lane on the bot lane. But good knockup onto Kaitana, gets the slow proc, gets the ultimate proc, and there's nothing the Ezreal can do.
Crazy Cassandra gameplay. That guy feels like he is star walking like Lil Nas X when the Cassandra champion came out. He is on the run, just solo killing the enemy ADC under the tower. And now, INT Academy gets that feats of strength, gets that second break, And with that, they have one set of drops, they have 2 dragons, and they are very, very close to getting that soul, which now is going to be, we see an ocean soul. That's great because there's a lot of
Yeah.
poke from Lundqvist Darkside, as well as you have that extra mana regen to be able to get those more samplings in the fight, to get more Syndra combos, to be able to poke with that Kai'Sa W if she decides to go for that W Evil build. And I think it's going right now going really great for INT Academy. And as I said, upsets can happen, and those heroes can bleed.
Yeah. Really. And yeah, there's a spectator bug on Armorclear, and he is not an ultimate, it's just a visual bug. He likes having rocks around him. So we're gonna be seeing that, I think, until the next time he ults. But 14 minutes and platings fall. Game is all but even, and we have clear carries on both sides. Salty up about 1,000 gold, very, very ahead compared to this Zed, who is very much shut down. And on the other hand, Caetania is also very strong on that. Ezreal has already finished the Triforce and has pretty good stacking onto that tier.
Yes, but it's going to be hard because Ezreal is still ahead, and we'll be able to see if he will be able to get into the items that he needs and be able to scale into the game, that he will start doing damage to everybody and be able to weave as much Qs as possible in those fights.
Oh,
and
Restin in
be able
trouble,
to get
gets
it.
knocked up. Leonil also like for help. Snip, snip comes up, but not enough damage. Restin is able to walk away due to that rune, and that's just a nice attempt by Lundqvist, but it doesn't result into a kill.
Very nice attempt from Lundqvist, but Max coming in with the save, as well as Face Rush coming in clutch for
Yeah.
Maokai. And we see Maokai going, since he knows that his team is ahead, he's going more for that aggressive build. He builds the Leandry's first item, and
Yeah.
now he should be opting more into the tank or support build. We saw a lot of times champions like Maokai or Sejuani building something like a locket because it's a cheap and it's a very gold efficient item that gets you very good power on your champion and very good stats, as well as it helps your team and provides a lot of sustain, and the shielding helps a lot in fights.
Yeah, and the stun comes out onto Alistar. He has to ultimate. Ooh, Unleash Power coming in, and the Grasping Roots. A lot being burned here by INT Academy. Alistar gets rooted, gets knocked up, and he should be taken down. Yes, Salt picks up the kill. Now Leon is in trouble. Just ease dashes away, and he is fine. But a lot burned. 3 ultimates for that Alistar. But still, it's a kill, and it might be translated into that Herald.
That is a very, very good pickup for in the academy. And now, since there's no Alistar, they have no primary engage tool. They just say, you know
Top
what?
lane,
Go
Konya
for
goes
the
all
Herald.
out onto in-game, and in-game has to flash away. And it's so much pressure coming in from the top side, and this Herald will be followed up by possibly a top lane take. Nope, they just decide to back off. As the only member...
Yeah.
You can see the only member of Lundqvist who's really doing well for himself, the Ezreal Caetania, bullying Nord off of the map. And honestly, if Lundqvist wants to win, it will be off of this very fed Ezreal, as Armorclip does not find much against this team right now.
Yeah, there's not much that Lundqvist can do at this moment. They're not getting too far behind if you look at the goal difference, but when you look at the tempo in the game,
Yeah.
we see that they have a lot of objectives on the in academy side. They are taking control of the map slowly but surely. and
Knock
as
up
now
onto
Alistar,
Armorclip. Again, he might be in trouble. Gets stunned up by Max as well. Has to pop that flash. Ooh, Unbreakable Will is not used, crucially. That's a big ultimate coming out for the next dragon, which is in 22 seconds, but he's gonna be late.
he is going to be late. He's forced to back, and he's not going to be there right in time as it spawns. He's going to be a little late, but I don't think it matters since INT won't be able to start it right away. So we see now Ezreal getting punked in the middle. He will be out of the fight. And now INT popping the Herald to get that bot lane pressure. So you make Lundqvist decide if they want to hover on the bot lane and try to get and stop the push, or if they will do something
I
into the Drake.
like
And now we see Cognac just getting the tower on top lane alone. And
Yeah,
yes,
I like
TP,
this play by INT
remember.
Academy. You used the fact that Ezreal is not there, not as pressure to get Dragon, but as pressure to get 2 hour turrets, and that's going to be a huge gold swing. But now, can Lundqvist had an answer. Nord together with Max and Restin might be in trouble. They're 4v3 into this bot side, but look at that,
Ooh,
that
great
engage from Max.
ultimate.
The ultimate is so big. Kitania is not there to help, but still, it's a 1-for-1. Support for jungle and support now as well. Leighton has fallen. Now Nord has to ult away, just barely staying alive. Will he take down? No, he won't. Barrier saves him. On the other side, we have a double kill for the Cassandra, and going game is taken out, and it's a fight win. 3-for-1 for INT Academy.
Really, really well played with the rare ultimate, with the TP coming in from the Cassandra, pulling away that Alistar, so he's out of the fight. And Nude being patient with his spells, with his ultimate, the killer instinct into the barriers barely makes him survive. And that Zed cannot get any kills this game. He only has that one that he picked up, and he is very much just struggling to be able to get anything from those fights.
1 item difference already in this mid lane, and that's the Z is not having the impact Lundqvist Darkside really wanted at all. Right now, at 20 minutes in, the underdogs, INT Academy, are having a grand day of this game.
And also cannot forget the ring. Salty 10 stacks on the Darkside, as well as one full item ahead of that Z in the mid lane. 1.6k gold difference alone in that lane.
Can we look at yeah, there goes 230 AP at 20 minutes. Salty is strong. He's even chunking going game with a full AP build, MR build.
And we see his stacks getting slowly and slowly towards that last upgrade on his ultimate.
Yeah.
When he gets that little bit of the Rabadon sort of buff, when he gets increased AP as well, that he'll get an execute on his ultimate. That's going to
Yeah.
be crucial for the later fights in the game.
The only thing I feel like right now are the overlay. No, it is showing ultimates. Okay. Earlier, Salty ultied Ketania and didn't show that the ultimate is down, but Armor has to pop the Unbreakable Will off of the stun from Salty, and that's a big cooldown to be burned, although it's going to be back up by the next dragon.
It is going to be very, very
But
impactful.
Restin once more, ultimate coming in down. There's no ultimate of Amarclane. He's not tanky whatsoever. The Alistar is down. Salty goes on killing, so now Restin might be in trouble. He gets shut down by the Ornn of all people with the Ornhorn from the top side. Now, it's a 4v4 continuation of this fight. Leighton did pop the ultimate. Look at the damage, and Salty just executes him from almost full HP, and now Nord slays Kitania, and that's a fight win for INT Academy. Going game, just presses the S button as he knows that he cannot win. Double kill coming in from Nord, and that's a 4-for-1 for INT Academy.
Great play from INT Academy. Lundqvist Darkside, they got the one kill onto the Maokai, and the tower fell down. They thought, all right, guys, this is our moment. We can just get in and get those kills. But no, you can't. You don't have enough damage. And we see Noor being so patient with when he can go in, finds the perfect moment, gets that double kill. And this is how we want to see the AD carry play in the
Max,
fight.
no.
Not even close, baby.
Has barely, INT Academy takes down that second mid turret, but they've taken 4 turrets against Lundqvist. They're 5.5k gold up. This Z from Conan is almost completely out of the game now, 2.5k gold ahead by Salty. And Nord picks up his second item and is now at the same items as Ketania, and that's right now INT Academy is in the complete driver's seat, 2 minutes away from their soul.
Yeah, the soul is coming in about 2 minutes for INT Academy, and it's going to be very difficult to fight for it and contest for Lundqvist Darkside. They will try to maybe look for some proactive hero play to get one very important member of in the Academy picked out before that fight. And even though I think it's going to be hard for them if they even end up in a situation that's a 4v5, because you see that there's such a great advantage of on many players from in the Academy, and Kaisa soon is getting pretty much online. She should have double evolve now with those items that
Yeah.
she has.
But also, if you think about it, the only Fed member on Lundqvist Darkside is that Ezreal. And sure, you have a lot of damage, but do you have enough damage to cut through 3 tanks on the side of INT Academy? And we're going to see as Amartey has to pop the ultimate to counter Resin's ultimate. But look at the damage. It just does not come from the Ezreal, but it does come from Salty. Already 1 kill onto the Ezreal. Good ultimate from Max as well to get 3 members, and that opens up the fight now. Shutdown finally onto Nord, but still it's INT Academy winning the fight. Max is taken down. It's not as clear as the victories at other fights, but still, Salty and Cognac will be able to take down in game. Ooh, Salty has to flash away. Good play from Catania, but he gets rooted up, he gets knocked back, and I don't think he can do anything despite the hero play. Salty almost goes down. Flash away from Cognac, flash forward from Cognac, should I say, and that Ezreal is taken down as well. A good fight from Lundqvist, but they are just a bit too far behind.
Great footsteps in the end, and great footwork by
Look at
the
Catania here.
Salty, just going crazy. And Ezra being aggressive, making sure that he can get the kill, but he barely misses that execute onto the Syndra, and then he goes in even after that, misses that Q, and cannot get the kill onto Syndra, cannot get that sweet, as I think it's 1000 shutdown on the Syndra.
Ooh, that would have been, and the Dark Shield stacks, don't forget. So
And
that would have been huge. Still, almost 3 items coming in from Salty, 2.5 coming in from Nord. The carries are very scary. And the Dragon, the sole point for INT Academy already has spawned, and INT Academy has the upper hand here. Now, can Cronan together with Amartey actually get an assassin off if Nord or Salty die before the fight begins? That could be crucial, but the Dragon is already started. Half HP going down very fast. Ultimate coming in from Maoka, and I don't think there's going to be any contest. Yes, red team saves it, and Leon, you did not want to get over that wall. Sure, you go for the steal, but it's your life that you pay with. And now INT Academy is looking at that Atakan.
Gwen goes in too late, being picked out, and now the Atakan should just be 3, and that is at 6, almost 6.5k gold lead at 25 minutes for INT Academy.
And again, it's just no damage, not enough damage coming in from Lundqvist to actually break through this front line. And even though the last fight was played extremely well, Caetania spamming its fine emotes, but it's not enough. Even the happy footwork comes out, even though you play almost perfectly right now, Lundqvist Darkside is just getting wallet diffed, honestly, in fights.
Yeah, at this point it was the wallet diff, and now we see a coping mechanism from Catania, having those emotes, farming side, being like, yo guys, it's okay, I farm, I scale, just wait for me to get my items.
But it's yeah, you scale, so does the Gwen, but you don't scale if you're 1 in 5. The Ezreal, sorry, the Zed should have fallen off by now. He did not get any value in this game. He is again and still 1 item behind Salty, who has that Rabadons, and his damage just jumped up by a lot.
A lot. And can we have a quick AP check on the Syndra? How much AP does she have right now? 500.
Ooh. Can you mouse over on the ultimate? How much is the execute right now? Okay, 15% HP. That's a lot. So imagine Kron, if the Ezreal has about 2000 HP. No, he doesn't. He has 1850, and that's 1 combo when you're dead.
That's pretty much 1 combo. Hitting that 1 QE and you are basically dead. And I think no matter who you are at this point, maybe Ornn doesn't get 1 shot, but all the other members, it should just be an easy pickup if you hit that those crucial abilities.
Yeah, and at the bottom side, we just see Cognac winning out pretty hard against in-game, and there's nothing you can do on this sideline apart from stand and hope for the best. The turrets will get taken down eventually. Meanwhile, on the other side, the 4v4 of INT Academy just outright wins, and it's such a hard position to be in. The only way I see Lundqvist winning is a potential Dragon Steel as Resin. Does take a lot of damage, but look at the healing coming in from the Ocean Soul. The fight does not matter. The good poke is just negated by the Soul.
It is just as I mentioned, that soul is going to come in clutch for INT Academy because you have the poke from Lundqvist Darkside, and that just gets negated so much.
But here we go. Engage onto Salty. Salty flashes away and sees safe. Suddenly, Cronan is in trouble. He ults, but he gets taken down by Salty. Resin is quite low. It's actually a good fight coming in from Lundqvist Darkside. Two members already dead. Nord together with Restin in favor of that Z on Cronan. And as we look back, this was a good engage and a good pick by Lundqvist.
Yeah, we are really sorry for that replay. It looked a little bit interesting, a little bit zoomed in,
but we get to see it a bit more close up as Lundqvist actually wins out on that fight.
Yeah, but it's okay as long as we see all the action happening. And now Cassandra all out in the bot lane.
All out, going on the going game, and going game cannot really do anything. Does he have the flash? No, he hit in 5 seconds, and that's just a 1v1 kill. Konya going 7-0 and godlike as he looks for Catania.
7-0, that Cassandra is just...
Ooh, stun coming. Catania has to good cleanse away, otherwise you'd be dead, and that team of INT Academy is not looking towards that Baron. Can they get anything more on the mid lane, or will they turn towards that Worm immediately?
Really great pick from the INT Academy. They get the flash and the cleanse from the Ezreal now, and it's just crazy, like how easy it is. They just walk up, they use the spells, and now boom, Ezreal doesn't have both someone else.
Yeah, and that's huge coming into the next fight. Baron is up, Dragon, the Elder, 1 minute 30. Ezreal is without summoners. Your only true damage source is vulnerable right now. Yes, you're sitting on 3 items, but no defensive, no nothing. If one thing lands on you, you're just straight up dead. As INT Academy is starting off that Baron, it's already a bit low. A good ultimate coming in, a zoning ultimate coming in from in-game, but the Ezreal assassination, the Z assassination does nothing as Connect still alive. Good engagement there coming in by Max, stunning in 3, but dying for the 8. Ooh, triple stun from Salty gets Konek into the fray, gets him unstoppable, gets him a triple kill onto Nord, quadra kill onto...
Can we get a penta?
Can we get a penta? Titania, no! Salty! You bastard!
Salty! No, report that guy. Somebody report that guy. Somebody report that guy. Oh god. That Syndra behavior? Nah. If I was in the academy, I will sub this guy out for the next game. Not gonna lie. How dare he steal that penta away? That was deep play from Nude. Being able to get those skills positioned perfectly. Deny that initial engage from Z onto yourself and just kill him, and then he steamrolled that fight.
Yeah, but you have to think this is going to be it, right? And the Academy are pushing for the win. They're pushing for the upset first game, and a clean one at that. They showed up, they came into play, and Lundqvist Darkside did not have any answer. All members super fed, 10-0 Salty, 8-3 Nord, 7-0 Cognac, and a victory for INT Academy.
Really great game. And after this game, I have just one thing to say, all right? Hear me out. You know, Nude is my very great friend. He performed. And all I'm going to say is, if Nude has 1 million fans, then I am one of them. If Nude has 10 fans, then I am one of them. If Nude has only 1 fan, then that fan is me. And if Nude has no fans, that means that I am dead and no longer on this world. If the world is against Nude, then I am against the whole world. This guy is crazy.
That's a montage, like just one Nord montage is playing, and this is the monologue over it. Amazing, man. Chat, you can vote for your player of the game. I would give it to, I'm sorry, Nerd, I'd give it to Salty. the solo kills again, as well as the stuns in the fights, were just so good.
I am sorry if whoever votes for Salty is an Inter, by the way. He should not deserve it for stealing that penta. I don't care.
Although there is no Salty in the chat, we have Siley coming in.
I am sorry.
Falling in quickly. Tell me you feel something too. Caught in the moment. I'm lost here without you. Tangled up in your web. Holding on to every word you said. I'm ready, you know. I'm open to show. Would you say the same? We're falling from outer space. We're moving like a full-paced supernova. We're making all the headlines now. And I just wanna seize the moment. 'Cause we won't ever slow it down. Kissing in the rain tastes just like champagne.
And we're back. What a match coming in from INT Academy, taking a convincing game one. And congratulations to Salty for the MVP going 14 and 0.
I would not congratulate him for that MVP. I'm sorry. You cannot steal the penta and be like proud of yourself for getting the MVP. I'm sorry.
So he should have went 13 and 0.
Yes, of course. I mean,
Yeah. You always go for the steal, don't you? Like, even if you're support, you go for the steal.
I mean, okay, if I was him, I would done the same thing probably. But
There you go. There you
but
go.
you know,
There you go.
but then I would blame myself. I would be like, yeah, look at me. I'm such an inter. I took his penta, but I would still do it on purpose.
Regardless, I would very much think that there was laughter in their comms during that team fight. And, well, yeah, they are coming in as the underdog with a convincing game one and in a good, strong position to continue on this in the rest of the series. Now, what do you think Lundqvist needs to do to try to get back that game win, try to equal out the series and then make a reverse sweep happen?
Pick something that's not users in the mid lane. Fixed.
Fair enough.
Problem solved. Get something that can still bring value, even if you maybe fall behind a little bit. Because when there is something like a Zed or like an assassin, if you fall behind, you're just like a mosquito. You don't do damage. You don't have CC. You're just there. Sometimes you can be annoying, but there's nothing more you bring to the table.
Yeah, we saw Cronin go in onto the carries of Salty and Nord a few times in the fights, and it just wasn't enough. There was so much peel, there was so much CC, there was not enough damage from Cronin to one-shot someone, and it kind of just dropped off into nothingness the entire game, really.
Yeah, like that was just a void that could not be filled because of the Zed being not being able to get any kills because he went in and he it seems that he never had enough damage to be really able to get that pick and then get out. Either he got a 1-for-1 or he was not even able to get one kill and just got popped in fights.
Yeah, and like not one kill. He just flopped over and died. He was so far behind. I feel like he needed to roam more. I feel like he needed to actually get on the map, get some kills happening onto the bot lane, onto even Cognac the top side, but didn't happen. Now, this game, like you say, I think they need to go with something a bit more standard because they're practiced on the standard, right?
Right. I mean, maybe you go for something more a little bit like laid back. You pick something more safe. You will just be able to like sit back, farm, and then you will later bring that uh, effectiveness of the champion rather than have that Z that needs to snowball, needs to get those skills, needs to get that early lead in a to be able to work. And as we saw, he was not able to do that. And that is a risk you take always when you pick something like an AD assassin in the mid lane.
Yeah. It's feast or famine. And we saw in this coordinated game that it's very hard to feast. You need to be in the right spots at the right time. And one mistake, such as the early roam, just loses you so much. He got picked off once, then he got solo killed by Salty, and then he was quiet the entire game.
He was very quiet. And you know what they say, if you are in the game, you either drip or drown. And this guy was not able to get his wallet up. So he was just drowning this game.
Yeah, and on that note, one person that I would like to pay attention to was Caetania. The Ezreal was strong. Look at him going in here, almost winning that fight. One more Q, Salty dies. Potentially he lives. Potentially going game dies, and it's no sorry, Kornek dies, and it's such a different fight. This Ezreal was a menace, really.
Yeah, he was trying his hardest to win the game. It's like sometimes when you are in a solo queue and you have that feeling of like, okay, you are strong, you maybe can win the game for your team, but your team is just inting you, and you like have to go for those hero plays, try to get that. Maybe I will just 1v9 this fight, kill everyone, and then we're back in the game. But I think, especially in that one fight in
Look at the
the
damage she brings
bottom
out.
bottom river, it was really a boots div, like Salty with that boots of swiftness, the bonus movement speed, just being able to like dodge all the Qs, being able to just like play around with him a little bit, trying to make him feel like he can kill him, and then in the end he just like walks it off.
Yeah. And so the really Catania is the person I want to watch the most on Lundqvist. And of course, I think Krona needs to be on a different champion. But still, it was such a good performance from INT Academy. Salty going deathless. Cognac destroying the side lane. Northern Max also like holding their own, even though I talked a lot about Kitania. Still, Nord did a lot of damage. Max had great engages. Reston had great. Like the entirety of INT Academy just played so well.
Yeah, they had a really great team coordination. I think Salty. Uh, I'm sorry to say that. I mean, he got fed. I would give him that. He got really strong, but also his opponent didn't play his best that game. To be fair, he got some like an easy game for himself. Like he got fed, sure, and that's a praise for him. He got fed, and he was able to utilize that lead very well that he got in the mid lane. But to be fair, his opponent was kind of hinting that game. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
put up my head because I thought you're gonna mention the steal again. But yeah,
no, 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 not this time. Enough is enough, you know. But as well as many fights, we saw a lot of patience from the side of INT Academy. They were able to just play it slow, find the perfect moments where they can pull the trigger and just win the fight. Especially very good patience from the Kaisa with her killer instinct, with her Sums, to be able to have a good position in the fight and be able to, in the end, get a quadra kill, sadly not the penta, you know. Happens.
happens. You know, happens to the best of us. Um, as we, I'm getting word that it's going to be the draft is going to be performed off screen again.
Right.
So on
Uh,
a drafter.
yeah, and do we have information if Lundqvist choose blue or red side for the game too?
So
Or
we
like,
have information that Lundqvist is blue again. INT
yeah.
Academy is red. So Lundqvist chose blue again. Have
So
that first
Lundqvist,
pick.
after losing the game one, is still on the blue side, still trying to figure out to get one really power pick from that blue side advantage. Maybe, but I'm not so sure. They will try to change the draft dynamic and maybe go for some power picks in other lanes,
Mm.
but maybe they live in their style and in their psychology. They're just like, you know what we picked and what we played was good. We just didn't perform well on it. They will try to go for something similar next game and be like, we believe in what we prepared for today, and we believe we can perform on it. Maybe they
Yeah,
will try to do that.
I just hope they didn't underestimate INT Academy too much. They didn't go like, yeah, these were last seed. They barely got in. You know, they're just gonna play our thing and win. I really hope that didn't happen because if it did, Lundqvist might be in a bit of a tricky situation with nothing prepared and nothing to go off on onto this deciding game too. Because it doesn't matter that this is your second loss of the entire split. If you lose the next game, you're out.
Exactly. If you lose this next game, then the season is over for you because you did not manage to make that into the top positions to be able to play in that promotion relegation tournament. If
Yeah.
you if you lose one more game, it's over for you for the season. There is no more Soul.
Yeah, you keep your seed Division Two spot, sure, but you have to return next semester, next season. You have to return to fight another day, but that's it.
Yeah.
This, again, they lost. This is their second loss of the year.
Yeah, and well, as you said, wakey wakey, time for school. Gotta go back into the next semester.
I gotta go back. Gotta go into that victory. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we talked a lot about Lundqvist in the Academy on the prefaces of an upset. One more game, and you take out the almost tournament favorite or like Division 2 favorite coming into these playoffs.
Yeah, and it's it's really good that you mentioned uh, a semester, because you know what this game one felt like? It felt like in the Academy gave Lundqvist Darkside a very good lesson on how to play League of Legends.
Maybe they're like, so we know what you want to do. This is how you do it. Come up in the next game, do this, and then we can talk. If you do it fine, game 3 is going to be fun.
Exactly. They're just like, you know what? This is how you play League of Legends. We show you how to play the game. And if you can perform like us, then we'll give you your respect. But until that, sit down, kid, and listen to me.
Now, usually in the in the past few seasons, we've seen that these sort of first games where the first seed goes against the fourth seed are kind of quick. It's a quick 2-0. It rarely goes to 3 games, but usually almost always the first seed takes it. This time, we're on a path to a quick 2-0 if Academy plays as they have, but for their side. So the underdog sort of just wrecks the fan favorite coming in. And again, we're going to see in the next game. There's quite a bit of a delay because the draft is happening
Yeah.
offline. So we're going to see how that goes there. I mean, offline,
Yeah,
off client.
yeah, off stream.
Yes.
Yeah. But as you mentioned, like maybe INT Academy are the underdogs in this match, but especially me knowing and being able to speak with the players and knowing them more personally, some of them at least, as well as we were when we were in the last season of Seoul, we were at the finals of Division One in Jönköping. We were able to speak into the INT coach, which is Baul, and he's also working with the INT Academy. And I know some of the ideas he has for the game and how he proceeds to work with the team. And I believe in what he believes in, and I really like his style. And that what gave me a lot of hope for the academy in this match is that with a good coaching staff and with good preparation, you can really, really make some big upsets. And as we saw game one, it was not even close.
Yeah, definitely Mint Academy coming in way more prepared. And it showed. Now, can you do it again? This time, Lundqvist Darkside will not be caught sleeping, will not be caught unawares. They know what Int Academy can do, and they have to face it head on. They have to pull out what they know. They have to pull out their comfort or maybe what they have practiced on to win this game.
Yeah, exactly. And also, speaking of pulling some champions off, or maybe getting some champions picked, I am really sad. And this is message to anyone from Seoul crew watching it. We need to have Fearless in other divisions than Div 1. Like, give us Fearless in Division 2 at least, and 3
That'd be
maybe.
fun.
Like,
Although
I love Fearless, and I've watched the first split of those major regions as well as some ERLs. Like, I've watched NLC and some other ones. Like, Fearless just shows so much more, and the game gets both. Uh, you get more skill expression because you need to think about draft more because the picks are out when you get them for one game. Then you cannot reconsider getting them again, as
mm,
well as that it brings much more fun to the viewers because it's not like we had a few years ago. We had that very boring meta that it was just like every game was Vi, Maokai, Zeri, Yumi, Zeri Lulu versus Lucian Nami, all the same drafts every game. Maybe this team gets that one champion that game and the other one gets the other champion that game, and then you swap around, and it was just exactly the same drafts over and over again throughout like a whole year.
then you have
And
worlds where only Zaya and Kaisa are picked with either Rakan or well on each side.
Exactly. You have those very similar picks and very same champions, and they just get picked over and over again, which makes the game not enjoyable for the viewers. And as I say that, we are getting into the draft for game 2.
We are finally in draft for game 2. Here we are. It's been 15 minutes. The champs
Ooh.
have been picked off
Im-
off client, so we might not get them in order. I have a list of how it was actually picked, so we'll go with this. We can talk about it during
Yeah.
the pause before the game. And
And now we see Syndra insta-ban from Lundqvist Darkside. They're just like, okay, this guy is a monster. We don't want to deal with that. And as well as the Annie pick. And you have to take into consideration that maybe not so much anymore, but Salty used to be Annie OTP back in the day. He used to be that Annie one trick that was just terrorizing EU West Master games.
on one of our streams, we underestimated the Annie. I think it was a Kai game as well.
Yeah, it was the first game Kai versus the in the Academy. And as we see
Yeah.
now, we have Virus first pick from this Darkside. And so, as I mentioned, they are changing the strat a little bit, getting that power pick onto the bot lane.
And we're going to see if it's going to be on hit or it's going to be that poke. Answered by the Maokai,
Maokai.
which was amazing in the previous game, as well as the Oriana here.
Oriana, really standard pick for Salty. Again, a control mage. That's a really stable pick for the guy, as well as you get a pretty good combo with Maokai and Oriana, because Maokai can just go in with the ball on him and lock
Ooh.
onto one target. And we see an Ivern, the wise mystical tree battle. We see Maokai versus Ivern. We love nature, guys. And
The angry
you,
tree versus the chill tree.
you know Ivern? I think he's a great guy because his favorite car is tree. That's one of his voice lines, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing. He used to. Is it still the story that he used to be like this fearsome, bloodthirsty pirate, and then he found the tree at some point?
I'm not so sure about that one. I'm not too deep into that. But as we see now, INT Academy getting that horn pick and snatched away from Lundqvist Darkside, as well as we see an answer into the Oriana having the Seraph, which is usually the answer to some of the control mages, like the Oriana, the Azir, maybe. It's most the common matchup that you pick that Seraph into. That you want to be able to outrange and be able to zone and get Oriana stuck in lane so that she cannot roam around the map, and you will have that pressure early if you play it correctly. As we see now, Jinx being picked out on R4, and we have a Poppy cover, and
So
that's going to be locked in.
the only difference in this matchup right now or in this draft is that Jinx is not Jinx officially. It was the Rel was picked on R4, countered by that Poppy Alistar combo.
All right, so we see both Poppy and Alistar being picked up, which indicates that Poppy is going into the top lane against
Yes.
Ornn, and the Jinx and the Red are going against the Alistar into the bot lane.
So there we have it. Both teams for game 2 are set and locked in. I wonder if it's going to be the on-hit or poke virus coming in, because if it's the poke, you have so much of that compiled with a pretty good engage on Alistar and Poppy. So I would honestly, I'm a fan, more so a fan of on-hit, but I think that the poke here is very valid.
The problem with going poke here is that you pick Ivern, and that's an enchanter, and you pick an enchanter for a reason that you want to buff that carry. If you're
True.
going poke, you cannot get those buffs that you get from, for example, the Ardent and the other that you get those on-hit effects onto your champion. So I would most likely we will most likely be seeing the on-hit virus, but not sure because if you go poke as well on virus, you have no like consistent damage in that team. Like there's nobody that would do consistent damage in fights. So it will be very hard to play fights later because you would just have like a peak potential and then that's it.
Don't get me wrong, I very much prefer the on hit, both playing it as well as seeing it. But the poke has been rising in popularity lately in the last few patches, and in this scenario, I agree with you when it comes to the Iron, but you have so much poke into basically a full-on engage from INT Academy, and if INT Academy does not get an engage on you soon enough, it just becomes into a oh you win because you outpoked me scenario.
Yeah, I mean that's a valid point, but I mean that's the thing. If you go at the poke virus in this game as well, is that later into the game, when Jinx gets into her 2-3 items, you will just not be able to match her damage.
Yeah,
Her
maybe.
DPS will be like uh, better, but I mean as well as you have to take into consideration that some games actually the poke virus will outscale the on hit virus because
Yeah.
of how the dynamic of the draft is. But this game, I think, I mean, if I was him, I would have to go on hit because as well, if you go on hit, you have more of that damage to the front line and as we can see, it's again three beefy champions in the front line. We have Ornn, we have Maokai, and we have that Rel.
The same as previous game, basically. And who do you think won the draft just off of champions alone?
Uh, I mean, all right, now I usually am biased towards the champions that I really enjoy and really like, but this time I will have to give it to INT Academy
Yeah.
because I like the comp. It's more standard. It's more like very easy champions, or like not easy to like play, but you have easy tasks and you know what everyone is supposed to do, and it's like an easier execution than the comp to the left. But I still love the Ivern, but I will give it to INT Academy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you. One thing that would have really made the draft, I think, for the side of Darkside would be that potential Braum B5 instead of the other star. I know they're fairly similar champs in what they want to do, but then you have this disengaged composition that's so hard to engage into against the full engaged composition of INT Academy.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's again a little bit of mm, the game as the previous drafts, in my opinion, that Lundqvist have to make something happen earlier and be able to get a lead. Meanwhile, that Int can just play it slow as they did in game one and just wait for opponents to step up. You make mistakes and then capitalize off of them.
Yeah, and the players are loading in. We're gonna be in game soon, oh so very soon. We're gonna see this potentially final game for Lundqvist Darkside despite such a strong start. So we're gonna see just a few minutes, seconds hopefully.
In just any second, we will be getting into the game. And we see now Cronon actually, this guy, he listened to us. No freaky ignite anymore. He's got that TP now.
Yeah, and we are loading. We're well, not loading. We're going into game with INT Academy again on red side, being such a strong performer in the game one, looking to secure that game, to looking to secure that path into the playoffs, to continue their run so far. On the other side, we have Lundqvist Darkside, the strong man from from Group A, coming in almost undefeated in this season, now facing a series
30
defeat.
seconds until minions spawn.
Patrick?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I lagged a bit. My Discord was
All good, all
disconnecting.
good.
Yeah, we see now Tanya just lurking in that bush, getting the deep ward level one. Maybe we'll see if that gets anything, if they can want to do some freaky things level
Minions
one.
have
And
spawned.
we see now that Varus has that little demo, so he is actually going for that on hit build.
Yep. So where's the on hit? Like you say, again, I prefer the on hit. I think it's much better. But this might be a scenario where it is. I would have also potentially considered the poke, but regardless. Lanes are standard. It's a 5-point. No shenanigans coming in just yet.
Nothing really happening just yet. Maybe we'll see the level 1. No, they're just walking up, contesting that wave, trying to get that higher early game. And now, ooh, nice kill from Alistar, getting a little bit of damage early, but that's it. Not much going on. We see now Ivan doing very standard clear. I mean, starting on the bot side, so he will indicate that he will try to move towards that bot side of the map. And now, is he knowledgeable enough to do that perfect 245 Ivan clear, or does he not know the strat?
I think he. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know the clear that well. At least not well enough. But I think he goes so far so good. He smoked the Grump. He went towards the rules, and I don't think it's gonna be that fast, but it's still gonna be a fast clear.
We are actually timing it. We'll see. Will he get it in time or will he not? I mean, I think he will get it in time. He has the room to do it because he will have now the smite to get the Krugs, and yeah, that's the 245 clear on Ivern basically.
3 seconds late.
Yeah, but it's basically almost on the spot with that clear.
Yeah.
The speed.
Can he capitalize on it though? A great ward coming in from Max to just deny anything that Leon wanted to do.
Really good that they realized that Ivan will clear towards the bot side, and now he finished his clear. Look, the Maokai has 2 camps left, and Ivan is just really walking. And look, now they will try to meet in the jungle. 1 level advantage.
And the bottom actually, Max might be in trouble. A lot of damage onto him. Ignite will take, but it won't take enough. As on the top side, the jungler's face and Leon is just walking away despite the bot lane winning. And honestly, yes, you're winning. You cleared so fast, but apart from a bit of poke onto Reston, I don't think you'll get much. Reston gets level 4. Now Leon might be in trouble. He has to flash away because Max is here. But no, actually, it's Amarkid that goes in, gets a double knockup, has to flash away as well. It's another over chase by the side of Lundqvist Darkside. Now, 4v4 in the bot side, flash in from Reston. Reston also low, 1 more auto attack. And yes, Katrina will get the kill. Now Nord gets excited, gets knocked up, gets taken down by Amarkid on the top side. Conan is also low. Salty flashes, Conan flashes away. Blue team, Katarina gets another kill, 2-0 now on this bot side, and now Salty, will he get down? He gets knocked up. Yes, triple kill by Kaitania.
Triple kill by Kaitania, and that virus is getting really in a good position right now. The play was very chaotic. First, it was the Ivan that got caught out, but then there was the Alistar that went in and was forced to flash away, and then it was just Lundqvist Darkside that was able to turn it around because there was no defensive summoners like a barrier for the Jinx to survive more and get another reset of, or there was no mana left on Salty basically to be able to weave more spells in and be able to get that damage to finish the players off.
Yeah, truly. The barrier made all the difference in this fight. Nord just got incited, but then got knocked up and taken down. And this fight started off very poor for Lundqvist Darkside. It turned into great for them and netted them a 1,200, 1,300 gold lead at 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. That's what's going on right now. And yeah, as you said, that's what's happening. It's leading the bot lane for Lundqvist Darkside, and we'll see if they will be able to capitalize off of it. Now we see that we have Berserker Boot and the Recover Bow.
Ooh, Max hit knocks up a lot of damage coming on from this Varus, and Max is forced away, and this might just be a dragon and grub take for the side of Lundqvist eventually.
Yes, sir, that's what's happening right now, and there's not much that happened here.
I thought they were gonna go for the dragon, my bad.
A little bit of a meeting. I also thought that might be going for the dragon, but sadly, nothing there happening. Oh, Poppy! And she just bombs him away. And
decides to just TP back, but still, it's a wave lost by him, and this Poppy is now 13 CS ahead and probably a level up. And the early phase, suddenly completely different than in the first game.
Yeah, it's just all it's just all done right now. We see the Darkside contesting that first break, and now we see actually INT going for that first set of rubs. And we see as well that Ornn had no TP, so he was forced to just recall and walk back to lane, which made him lose a lot actually. And now we see that he only just hit level 6.
Yeah, now resting, taking those scrubs. I thought it was going to be a 2 objective take by Lundqvist, but they decided to just be a bit safer, get some more CS, and get that trade because we saw last game how impactful that Ocean Drake soul was. And this time it's Lundqvist that's ahead on bot lane as well as in Dragons. And look at this freeze by Titania and Armorclay. The bot lane of Nord Max can't do anything, can't even go up to get some XP there. It's
Yeah,
actually
now see, going
Max
with
gets through it up,
well, only level 4, and he just gets one shot by the Paris.
I didn't even look at the XP. Titania is 2 entire levels up onto Nord, and his Chains of Corruption get Max and get a 1,000 gold lead onto this Varus, who is very, very strong.
That Varus is indeed very, very strong. We see 1.1k gold lead at 7 minutes. That's insane, as well as the level advantage. Nord was being zoned from the wave, not being able to walk up because he's being gatekept by the Alistar. But now Maokai trying to get something out in the bot lane, but he got spotted on the ward and he is just unfortunately wasting time.
No, he's not wasting time. He's being called down because there's nothing the bot lane of INT can do. And now actually, no, Amberglay, you're so nasty with the knockback into the turret. And the Maokai who's supposed to save the lane just dies. Look at this, the freeze is still going. Amberglay keeps it up, even gets the last hit.
Now, much praise.
Ooh. Top lane.
Top lane. But as we can see now in the bot lane, they have the...
Ooh, and the mid lane as well. Oh no, what is happening this game? 2 solo kills almost, while the mid lane was held by Layton, but still, all lanes hard losing for INT Academi, and it's not even the inverse, it's just Lundqvist waking up and saying, okay, enough playing around with our food, let's go in for the kill. 4.5k gold lead at 9 minutes.
Crazy goals lead from Lundqvist Darkside, and I think that if game 1 was a wake-up call for them, because right now they're looking fresh, they're looking clean in this game.
Yeah. Varus is 1,700 gold up alone at 9.5 minutes. Yes, Nord will get the CS, but still, it's a dire situation on that bot lane. As well as in the top side, we have 20 CS difference. Just in solo, like laning between in-game and Cognac, even in a solo kill from in-game.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, that's what happened. The Varus got 2 ahead, and we see that only right now, 10 minutes into the game, he hits level 6. That's insane.
Titania is so ahead in this game, and we saw what he can do last game on the Ezreal. This time, he's unleashed on that late game Varus, and one changes corruption, and anyone just dies, really. The only one that can survive is Nord with the cleanse.
Well, this game feels a little bit unplayable from the bot lane right now, because look at that, Varus almost has his Blade of the Ruined King. Meanwhile, Jinx has her little components. She has her BF sword, she has those daggers, but you know, she can't do much with them.
Not only that, the Blade of the Ruined King and the boots as top lane. Look at how in-game just bullies Cognac, and the Ornn can't really do much in this solo lane.
Yeah, Ornn can't really do much. I mean, he is just there to be able to wait it out. Maybe he gets a little bit behind, just will farm up, get those levels, get those ornaments in, get those item upgrades. That will a little bit negate the gold difference in the game because that's
Eventually.
around if I remember correctly, that's around 1.1k gold value of stats for each upgrade he does.
Yeah, but that comes in very, very late. And ooh, Keeper's Word it gets rest in a way, but interestingly, still INT picks up the grubs. I would have thought that Lundqvist would go for them, but they're actually focusing around that dragon, and they're focusing around this dive bot. Nord and Max have all their summoners, they're level 6, so they have things to play with. But Max is outside of turret range. There's no turret hitting onto any members of Lundqvist, and it's Kaitania on a rampage going into this bot lane dive, and another kill, a double kill coming onto him, and a clean dive from Lundqvist.
Very clean dive from Lundqvist. And
You see a zoom in.
if I'm nude right now or Nord, all I can say to my team as that Jinx is like, if you don't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, you know?
Oh, this is a disaster for INT Academi. 10 and 1, 5k gold lead at 12 minutes. 2 dragons, you have to think. And even this orange is getting demolished underneath the turret. Can we look at the dive happening at the bot side? Pink's coming in, the unstoppable, and the Ornhorn is outed, but Kaitania goes dominating 7-0 on this late game. Hyper carry Varus, who is accelerated to no end.
Well, we have somewhat good news for INT Academi. Jinx has gotten her Yuntal, but that's it. There's nothing more to offer right now than the Yuntal. And we see that right now every single one of the members of INT Academi is just behind in gold. Some more, some less, but it's 3,000 difference on that ADC position alone. We have 40, almost 40 CS difference, 7 kills on that Varus.
Interestingly, though, INT Academi picked up another objective, so they're winning out on the neutrals, but it's not enough on the kills themselves because the gold is in the pockets of Lundqvist.
Indeed, but at least they got the feats of strength for the objectives, and now it's only about that first tower because
Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna get it.
Darkside gets that feats of warfare. I mean, you never know. You never know, but it's most likely going to the side of Lundqvist, Darkside. But they're putting in the effort. We see that they're trying.
Is there gonna be a dive
Squeeze in
coming
as much as possible. Will there be a dive? It's looking like a setup for a dive again.
Yeah,
But
you have Conan going towards that bot lane. He is in ult range. Decides to not. Amarkle did not find any good engage. His ultimate coming up just now, so maybe they were waiting for that. Still, look at the pressure the bot lane can put up. But now, Salty almost a 1 kill. Yes, it's a solo kill onto Conan, and answering a complete reversal in that mid lane again, being powerful. Now the turret is almost at 2 more auto attacks will be enough, and yes, the turret will go down the feats of strength onto the side of oh my god, Kitania. Oh, I thought she was going down, but no, it's a double kill again, and this Varus is legendary. 9-0 from the basically he spent half of the fight attacking the turret, then he spent the other half of the fight almost dead, and then he just killed them both.
that's some crazy things right from the Varus. The damage was honestly, I did not expect that much damage coming in. I thought that in this position he will be going down, but he did not. And now we see second item already on that Varus, working towards that third at just 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and it's a more than one item diff because he does have the boots as well. So this Varus is so strong, and I do not see a way for INT Academi to deal with him anytime soon.
Yeah, like I don't see any world where they can deal with that Varus anytime soon, unless, just unless, maybe later into the game when they get that Ornn ultimate, when they get that Maokai ultimate, maybe they can find that one peak in that fight to shut down the virus, and then the fight will not actually be that hard to play because there's not much gold anywhere else on the map. Maybe you see that gold lead on the Poppy, but you have to take into consideration not just the Poppy. Like, she may
Don't
be low plus one
underestimate the Poppy.
target, but of course you cannot underestimate the Poppy. But to be fair, Poppy has a lot of like single target that she can log onto, and for sure she will be tanky, but you will be able, if you pick that virus up in the fight, to just later maybe roll over the fight because you have to take into consideration that you will get those reset on drinks if you are able to get that virus, and that maybe can potentially win you the fight in the meantime. For pick out, simple as that. Another kill and a zero on the virus in 16 minutes.
Yeah, still, it's such an uphill battle for INT Academy. And while you say that yes, Ketania can just go down off of a simple like kill, it's still Leon together with Armorclay is helping her out, helping this the virus be surviving against this team of INT Academy. And we see the mid lane turret already taken down. Now the second turret will be under threat. The Herald crashes, Shelly does her thing, and the second turret goes down, and the lead is now 10k, 10,000. They have more than 1/3 of extra gold than in Academy.
That game just brings me back in the memories. In the memories of when LEC just started to become a thing, when they rebranded and went into the franchise. There was that one particular game I have in mind. That was G2 versus Misfits. That they had exactly the same situation. 17 minutes into the game, 10k gold lead, and everyone said, "There's no way G2 loses that."
Oh yeah, I
And what
remember that.
happened was just the history that there was a great comeback from Misfits.
I
And
remember
maybe
that. I swapped off. I went to eat. I put up a show, and then 20 minutes later, I come out. Okay, has the next game started? And Misfits is winning. Sorry, G2 is winning.
no, that was the other way around.
What's oh fuck, sorry, but yeah, like the other team is winning. It was
Yeah.
still right now. I don't see this happening, at least in the position that Lundqvist find themselves in. 14-2, 10k gold up at 18 minutes. They have two dragons against the one of INT Academy. They have all outer turrets and one mid tower dead. Leon is in complete control of this jungle, and both side lanes are dominated by the side of Lundqvist. It's such a hard game for INT Academy to play.
It's a very hard game to play for in the academy, and it's going to be even harder the longer the game goes because like I mean for sure at some point those Darkside won't be able to get any stronger, but will they reach that point where they will be able to contest them, or will they just be able to steamroll the game? Because as of right now, it's 9.9k gold lead,
Yeah, but
and it's just a massacre in every single phase.
Look at that sieging power, though. Cronin just hits 1Q. Cronin is forced to go out. A good rotation coming in from Lundqvist, and they take another tower. Meanwhile, in-game is soloing in the mid lane, and Reston will pay the price. It's just 1v4 in the mid lane, and Nord also takes half damage. Cronin dealing so much, and that's just... It was 1v4 in the mid lane. Everyone was bought from the side of Lundqvist. How are you winning this?
How are you able to win this? It's crazy. It's like I mean, if the money's up, the game is up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's 11k lead at 20 minutes. It's insane how much money Lundqvist has. 1.5 items up on the AD carry. About the same on mid, sure. But you have more than half an item in the jungle, one item in the top. It's just the difference is insane. And even the ruinous Atakan coming in, giving them more XP, 2 levels top, 2 levels jungle, 1 mid. 3 on the AD carry, and the level lead is insane. The gold lead is insane. The tempo lead is insane. And Lundqvist, this is their game. Show that game one was just a ruse. INT Academy is the underdog.
Yes, indeed. And when I look right now at the items between the AD carries, and I look at Varus and the Jinx, all I have in my head is that meme. I don't know if you know it. It's the hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. That's how it feels like now for the AD carries.
Yeah, I feel. Yes, Nords is stacking up with like a. This is fine smile on his face, but the map is just collapsing around them.
Yeah, like no matter where they go, there's something they lose on the other side because just Lundqvist, they can just go and do whatever they want. Like the enemy jungle is their jungle right now. They are not making them able to walk up, and now we see Alistar just trying to zone them, and there's no seriously at tier 2 tower in the top lane, and now we see all tier 2 towers
Preston.
are gone, and
Preston has to press ultimate and immediately flash away. Emmerkley just zoning 4 people with the Unbreakable, and that's it. A turret taken, a flash away taken from Reston as well, just for free basically. The rotations coming in from Lundqvist are very, very good.
very, very good on the rotation, and they are just slowly but surely moving forward into the enemy base. They've taken now all the tier 2 towers, everything is gone, and now it's a matter of time before they're open enemy base.
Yep. And Patrick, usually 5k gold lead at 22 minutes is, it's formidable. It's a good gold lead, right? Titania
Of
is
course.
5k gold lead alone towards Nord.
Yes, sir. We see that Varus, look at him, he has the Plate of the Ring King, Jesus, and Terminus. And meanwhile, Jinx is barely getting enough gold to get her second item, get that Infinity Edge.
She
Although,
should be.
gotta give her that. The items, the crit items are a bit more expensive than the on-hit ones, of course. But still.
It's not even close right now. And the only way I think that INT Academy wins this game is if Caitanya oversteps drastically and gets picked off, gets a lot of gold onto either Nord or Salty, and then you can play this game. Otherwise, you're just being suffocated out of the game by Lundqvist.
You know what? I'm calling it INT. We'll give them the soul.
Oh.
We'll wait for the Elder, and then we do Elder Burger Flip. INT gets Elder, turns around, gets the fight, and comes back to the game. I'm calling it right now.
I can subscribe to that. Nord gets his penta, and that's it.
Maybe this time Salty won't see it.
You got this, Nord. Oh, I actually get the ornament.
Boom.
That's a lot of gold now onto the Jinx. Honestly, will it be enough? We're gonna see.
We have to now take to the consideration if that's upgrade is the one that you want to go for.
Yeah.
You would rather maybe buff that Infinity Edge once that one is up in your
Resting, just hitting. This is not your jungle, man. You cannot be taking the red buff. It's alone going anywhere, just death as Caitanya picks up his 11th kill of the game.
All right, are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
I think Reston is actually resting a little bit because he got the gray screen.
Silas got broken by air production laughing his ass off. Oh, that's a good one, actually. I think he's going to be resting pretty soon as well when they go into the post game here, because they have to come up with something else for the next game. I don't see them winning this. 14,000 gold difference as they get the Baron power play fueled by rogue energy here.
Baron power play fueled by rogue energy, that's right. New sponsor coming in, Verax. Now we have that Baron power play by Rogue Energy, and we see if that will be the end play, and if the Lundqvist Darkside are able to end off that Baron.
You have to think that it will be now. They're finally cracking open the base. They were so methodical, so slow, not pressing their advantage too much. And now the horn from Konak is sounded. It hits only go in game and nothing else. Caitania is still safe in the background. No CC has landed on him whatsoever. Now he can turn. Now he can start doing damage. And immediately Konak is melted. Caitania goes legendary 12-0 now on this virus. What more can you good knockup from going game. Salty and Nord have to flash away, but Nord gets taken down by Conan, and that's another death. The double kill, legendary Caitania, and only Max staying alive between Lundqvist and their victory, their first victory of this series, their equalization of this game, and their continuation in these playoffs. The rare sweep is very much alive.
We are getting the series equalized, and there we are going into the match point of that best of 3 that I'm sure nobody really expected it to go all the way to 3 games.
But it's
Like when we
such a
talked before,
convincing 16,000 gold, 25 minutes.
all right, yeah.
This was a stomp.
All right, you know what? I will say that, and that may be a hot take. Even though this game was a stomp, it felt super slow. Like the later the game went, the more slow the Lundqvist Darkside were playing, the less they were capitalizing of their goal advantage. But finally, they got that one fight. They were able to win the game, and that's what matters.
And who would you give the player of the game to? From now, Lundqvist this time.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's gotta be the AD carry this time.
Yeah.
Like he was playing out of his mind both games.
Yeah, I agree with
Game
you.
number
Okay.
1, the team was maybe a little bit too far behind, but this game he showed up and he put out a statement of a game.
Yeah, I very much agree with you. And with that, we're going to go into another pause between games 2 and 3. The final game coming out in a few minutes' time. And we will see who moves on. Will it be in Academi upsetting the getting the 2-1, or will it be the showcase that Lundqvist Darkside just had?
I've been painting every fence I know. Every color bleeds into the same. 'Cause before you without you. Tangled up in your web, holding on to every word you said. I'm ready, you know, I'm open to show. Would you say the same? We're falling from outer space. We're moving like a full-page supernova. We're making all the headlines now. And I just wanna seize the moment, 'cause we won't ever slow it down. Kissing in the rain, tastes just like champagne. Falling every day, we're falling from outer space. Hoping time will change, got love on my brain. Would you say the same? We're falling from outer space. 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 Falling in quickly. Tell me you feel something too. Caught in the moment. I'm lost here without you. Tangled up in your web, holding on to every word you said. I'm ready, you know, I'm open to show. Would you say the same? We're falling.
And hello, we're back with game 3, final game of the evening, final game for one of these two teams, and final game of this series.
Yeah, that is the match point, and this will be a final game for one of these teams of this Seoul season 10 Division
Yeah,
2 playoffs.
and it's going to be a high fun as that because in both game one, we saw INT Academi stomping, and game two we saw Lundqvist Darkside stomping, and now game three, well, we see an equal match where we see these two teams clash together and see who can get out on top.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, both two games were. I mean, I wouldn't say the first game was like a sort of like stomped. First game was more of like a control game from INT, and then the second game was sort of like a stomp from Lundqvist Darkside. That would be really interesting to see which team will now come on top, because we saw INT being dominant and we saw Lundqvist being dominant, and now it's the final game, and we have to see which of the teams will be able to like get their mentals up, being like, all right, this is it, it's do or die, we got this, and
Yeah,
be able to take that victory. As well as I want to check if we have information on what side in chose for the final game of the series.
we're gonna have that now, I believe, as the game is up on challenger mode. We'll get info to you guys as soon as we can. Still,
All right, we're waiting for the info on the side selection, uh,
yes.
because I
Um,
will.
INT
INT
decided to
doesn't
go
go.
blue, their first decision of the evening, and they decide to go on to the blue side. Now, Lundqvist Darkside chose blue both games that they could choose. So it's definitely the one that people want more.
Yeah, I mean, blue side is usually the one that most teams feel comfortable with, and everybody in like the higher tiers of the game in the league say that blue side is the OP side, because you have that first pick, you
Yeah,
have that power pick that you can get, and there's always a powerful champion that will get ahead of everyone else, and that's a strong pickup. Or you can play around that, you make enemies ban it because you have the first pick, so you are making them waste one ban onto that one OP champion, and that you can pick out something more for yourself because you make another pick open for that in exchange.
okay. And with that, we're also going to have a small giveaway happening on stream right now. So before the next game starts, if you type in int win, I believe. Um, yeah, you have to type in int win to get into the raffle, and one person will get a skin of their choice, I believe.
Yes, sir. We'll have that giveaway running very, very soon. Meanwhile, we wait for the game, and one lucky winner will get it. And last time when we had that giveaway, that was somebody that was not even in the stream. But this time we will have a keyword that you have to type in order to win that giveaway.
Yes, so int win for, sorry, I was wrong, 1350 worth of RP or a skin. So yeah, anyone in the chat who wants to participate, type in int win and we will get you that skin if you win.
Yes, indeed. And in the meantime,
Yes, Naho, that's right, int win together. You're entered the raffle.
oh my God, I will not hesitate to do that as well. You know.
You will not. We cannot enter. Patrick, you can, but we cannot because we are of the company. So it's a 50-50 between you two now, right now. Yes, Patrick can.
And if I
We
win,
cannot.
everyone say it will be biased because I'm part of Verax. That's
Oh
it.
yes,
I
definitely.
know it.
Still, a few more minutes. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do the raffle itself when the games go live, or like when right before the draft comes live. So right now, we are waiting for the next games to start. It's going to be drafted again out of client, so there's going to be a bit of a delay before the games actually start. So we have about 5 to 10 more minutes. What do you think? Now, this time, different discussion. INT Academi needs to do for this game to go out well.
I think they have to come with enough confidence that they and have the back of their heads that we won game one and we are able to be stronger than them, because right now their morals might be a little bit down after that stomp in game two. And you gotta have that, like, be able to be in the middle of a line of being confident, but also not be too cocky. Because if you are too cocky, you overstep, you make plays, and you take the trades that you mostly should not have, and then you lose on it, and then the game just slips out of your hands. So you
Yeah,
have to
and
find that fine line between being confident and being cocky.
yeah, and we saw this time solo kills coming out from the side of Lundqvist, whereas the previous game solo kills were coming out of INT Academi. It just felt like everyone was much more comfortable on what they were playing. We're gonna see how it goes in a few minutes.
We are waiting for the draft right now, and I think not actually from the right now. I don't think there's much difference, or like it's not much impact on the drafts itself. How the game ends up, because those both drafts in the game one and two, I think there was no side that had like a clear advantage in the draft. I think it will be more like the player's mentality, like who comes with a better mental into the game, and you know, you gotta be like, all right, I'm locked in right now. This is it. It's do or die. We have to like turbo focus.
Yeah, that is true. And so
We are informed that Node, you have to write it again in the chat because there was some bug and you have not entered the giveaway. Oh, same with SoloNet and as well with which one you said now, right? Yeah,
Nahum
now
JV as well.
B.
You're not entered right now. Write in int win altogether, all caps, to be entered into the giveaway, which will be announced before the draft starts or after the game.
Oh, it's after the game actually.
Oh, it's after the game. I apologize. We had wrong information. Yes, after the game, but yes, int win will get you entered into the raffle. Yes, that's right. Perfect. So I'm hearing that the draft is underway on an internet source, so not in client. We're gonna have it the same way as we did last 2 games. We have a few more minutes before players actually get into lobby draft. Now, do you think INT Academy will go for something else, something different? Like you said, sure, the compositions don't really like. The main thing is actually how you approach the game, how your mental is. But still, how do you think they're gonna approach this last game?
I think they just try to maybe go for something like more like comfort picks. Try to keep it simple as they did throughout the series. Do not overcomplicate. Unless maybe they get something like any open or any other pick that they want to pull off. Especially since now they have the blue side, and maybe if Lundqvist decides to leave something open like the Fury, maybe, or any other pick that's like very strong, maybe they will pick it up and try to pull it off in this
Mhm.
last game of the series.
Yeah, and the Fury was banned both first and second game. So as much as I would love to see that, I think it's just too strong to be let through at this stage of the game.
Well, mm, it's really like you are put in a very difficult spot, no matter which team you are right now. And I think you just have to, at this point, no matter who you are, you just have to believe in yourself, and
Yep.
you have to be really confident and in how you play and what do you say, how you communicate into the game, and
Yep.
uh, I think there's for some players games like this and series like this get them very nervous, and then it makes them underperform. But some people can handle the pressure very well, and there's no problem for them in the situations like this to be able to pop off, because some people may work better under pressure, and we'll have to see which of the players and which of the teams can handle the pressure of final game in the series better.
Yeah. And I think Link with Darkside has shown that they can handle the pressure because they were backs against the wall and went into the game heads held high, going for those 1v1 plays, going for those 2v2 plays, those skirmishes, those invades, and they were ready to fight, even though they were, one mistake away from being knocked out of the tournament.
Yes, indeed. They were able to, after that unfortunate game one for them, where it didn't look like they had much to bring onto the table. They were able to bounce back and show that they are a team that's capable of winning, and they won by a lot. And they put out a statement of a game in
Yeah,
game two.
they did, and they put out the statement game that they were the favorites for a reason, and that they're just not going to back down into a 0-2 loss. They're here with going 1-1 on the premises of a reverse sweep in this series and potentially getting them back into the tournament, back into the rest of the playoffs. Lose this next game for one of these two teams, this is the last time we're going to be seeing them this split.
It is true for the most part, because if INT manages to lose this game, we will still see Nord and Max in Div 1 team
True.
in the promotion relegation tournament, but the rest of the players will take the time off and will be
Okay,
uh, gone for the rest of the season.
what happens? Okay, hear me out. What happens if INT Academy gets to the promotion series and
Oh, they
manages
cannot play it.
to. They can't?
They can't, because you cannot have two teams from same org in the same div.
Yeah, but sure. Regardless of that, what happens if like you go into the promotion relegation series and you face each other?
There was one time that it happened. I think it was last season, and it was from, I think, Div 2. I'm not sure which team it was, but they just had to like uh, in all sense they got into the promotion relegation tournament, and they just have to withdraw. And I think instead of the third team from Div 2, the fourth team got to play into relegation tournament because it was Academy of the
Oh,
team in Div 1.
that that sucks for the players, honestly. But fair for
I
the.
mean, to be fair, if you can show off and play well in the academy team and show that you're worthy, maybe you get a promotion for next season to the main team if you are them. That's something that you can look, like something that you can look at. As we see now, draft already being started, and
Yes. So we
is it?
have.
Wait, is it Lunk? Oh, okay, it's INT on the blue side, and we have Ori first
Yes.
pick. And
So that
immediate answer for the Silas.
So this is the actual draft phase right now. So it was Ari into the Silas, immediate counter pick by Cronin. He must be very, very like versed in that matchup. It is a skill matchup. So we're gonna see how that follows up, how that turns out with the Iron pick again by Leon.
And we see now Vi being covered for that easy access Vi
Yeah.
Ari combo. Very strong 2v2 in the mid jungle. Very much more proactive than the Maokai, I would say, than it was in the early game. So we see a little bit of reward. And there it is. The Masya. We have Garen into the Cassandra being picked.
That was banned last 2 games as well. So it comes out going game, going for that more aggressive, more fighty, and hopefully top lane won't be
Yeah.
just like a facing like sort of matchup between wave management and control of the lane. This time Garen has the potential to go in to actually contest the damage onto this Xante.
Yes, sir. And that's what I mentioned. One of the power picks or some counter picks will be open maybe this game. And what we see, Garen being open and Cassandra being picked, and then going game just says, slam that pick, get me that Garen, I will counter
Ooh.
this guy. And we see, ooh, as it is, we have Kalista from Crazy. And will they now go for the Alistar counter pick into Rel? Or will be just
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
just a standard duo, Kalista with Renata. We see saw that many times, and we see as last pick of Corki. And I will be
Okay,
looking at that
okay.
bot lane matchup really, really intensely and be
Oh,
very interested how that turns out because that's a very much two bot lanes that like to play aggressive early. Those two champions want to go in your face, want to trade, want to fight 2v2.
and it's a very, very, very action heavy game as opposed to the last few, at least when it comes to the picks themselves, as opposed to the last 2 games. Bot lane, Kalista wants to fight. Mid lane, you have R versus Silas, a very explosive matchup, and you have that Garen top lane who will at some point try to run someone down. So this game will have much more fighting in it than the previous 2, even though the previous 2 were quite so bloody.
But now you have to also take to consideration the Sylas pick. It's not really just purely for that Ori. Now you have so many great ultimates. You can just take that Vi ultimate and just go and log on to one target and be like pulling a Uno reverse card on them, as well as taking that Renata ultimate to have that utility in the fights to be able to zone them. And that's maybe probably why INT Academy didn't uh, think of going the Alistar into Rel, because that's another great ultimate for that Silas, especially
Yeah.
the Alistar ultimate is one of the top tier ultimates for that guy.
You have so many good ultimates. You have the Vi instant lock, and you have the Ari movement, as well as that ultimate from Renata. Well, it's going. The Silas has a very good game for himself, and he was first picked as well. So he was B1. Oh, sorry, R1. So Int Academy knew exactly what they're picking into.
Exactly, but sometimes you just have to like uh, hit yourself in on like shoulder and be like, you know what, it's okay. Like we have to still manage to get a good composition. Maybe we'll give him one or two good ults, but maybe we will be able to benefit from our combo more than he is going to benefit from our ultimates.
And yeah, who do you think, just again, champion wise, this time a bit more harder? This time both teams going into a different direction. Who do you think won the draft?
You know what? I'm going to pull the reverse psychology right now because you remember game one, I liked Lundqvist draft more, and INT Academy won. The game two, I liked INT Academy draft more, and Lundqvist Darkside won. So this time I'm going to say I like Lundqvist Darkside draft more. because I like the Silas pick. It's really good. He has really good ultimates. Plus, it's a Garen pick. Come on. Who doesn't love a Garen in a pro play game? Come on.
Honestly, I kind of agree with you only because you have that Silas pick in the mid lane. That champion, I feel like, plays so well into everything INT Academy has and has the potential to basically decimate the entire enemy team. As well as there's no one really on the side lane that can fight the Garen after, after mid game, so to say.
Yes, indeed. And it will be interesting to see how, especially the comp to the left, the INT Academy comp, if they will be able to get that transition into the from early to mid, because even though you have those champions, it's going to be harder the longer the game goes, I feel like, for them this time around.
Yeah, true. Still, I think that who wins? Like the lane control should be at least early on the side of INT, right? Just a pure wave and priority. But as the game goes on, I feel like the side lanes of Lundqvist are going to take over unless they're very, very far behind.
Yes, indeed. And it's going to be now the roles are actually reversed because a lot of the times in both drafts, I was mentioning that Lundqvist Darkside was on the side that was like, okay, we have to do something early in order to be able to accelerate the game and be able to snowball the game and be able to win the game. And
By
Int
the way,
was
chat, you
more
can
on the
also
like,
vote.
yeah, and you will be more, and Int was more on the chill side. Like you like laid back, we farm up, we get our items, and we scale, and then we win fights. Now, when the roles are reversed, I'm really interested to see how will Int proceed to play the early game because they
Yeah.
have to play more proactively, and will they be able to get those really good picks, find good opportunities, get those good fights, as Lundqvist Darkside showed that they could do in the game 2? Will they be able to get it in game 3 and show them that they are also capable of doing that and snowball the game?
Yeah, and honestly, the snowball is the name of the game. All of these champions, every single one, apart from maybe the Ivern, cares about snowballing. They want to be snowballing. They want to be ahead. They want to be pressing the advantage. And we see this time, for the last time, perhaps, these two teams spawning in for this season on the red side. This time, for the first time, we have Lundqvist, Darkside, looking to continue their split, looking to come in and show what they have left in their tank after the second game. Meanwhile, on the other side, now after a good game one, not so good game two in Academy, being the underdog, trying to get that win and going aggressive this game on all lanes. We're gonna see what happens.
We will see what happens as we are in the game right now. Quick check on the runes if there's anything in particular that stands out, and I'm not seeing anything really that's out of the ordinary. The Garen going for the Conqueror, that's really understandable because sometimes in some matchups
Ignite on Garen.
you would go for, I mean, Ignite, that's really understandable because you want to have that kill pressure, and I mean, you have Garen Q, movement speed, zoom back to lane, as well as he's going for that. He is going for that strat. He has the celerity and the ultimate rune. So will he know about the strat? Because there is the strat that you build, Spear of Sojourn, on Garen. And let me stop. Let's stop right here and let's explain what happened. Recently, the true damage got buffed in a way that the damage amplifiers, such as Riftmaker, PTA, etc., all those things that amplify damage, start to amplify true damage as well. And what does Spear of Sojourn do? One, it gives you haste on your basic spells, but as well as when you use your spells, you get stacks on Spear of Sojourn, and then once you have those stacks, you can use another ability to get bonus and increase damage on that, which does actually buff the Garen true damage execute on his ultimate.
Whoa. So that's how you can get a big execute, like it's sort of unplanned, or like you don't expect it as the enemy.
Yeah, I mean, this split in the, it's not called LCS,
Ooh.
it's called ALTA North right now. There was the FlyQuest top laner Bwipo that pulled out the Garen with the Spear of Sojourn after the buffs, and he was just able to 1v1 a Camille early game, and she was not expecting the damage because not many people expected that Garen to be able to do so much. I mean, people have been aware that Garen can easily just do so much damage with ult, but now with the damage amplifier from Spear of Sojourn, it was even more crazy now in many situations that he can pull it off.
Yeah, and we're gonna see now a lot of this laning phase will go down to the junglers, and Leon is now ahead again in that clear. His clear is good, but Nord and Max understand this. They know it from the previous game. They know what happened. They know the war that was played. They saw this Iron being very fast, and they're playing safe. Now a lot of pings coming down onto this Iron. Max is going with Reston to potentially contest. They choose not to. Salty and Chrono, meanwhile, in the mid lane, just brawling it out. And meanwhile, the bot lane, actually, Hammerclay is in trouble. Gank that was honestly just walk in from the side of Reston comes out, and Hammerclay is down.
How sweet.
That's a kill right there. And what can I say? I said it. Int has to do something proactive, and the Vi allows it to be more proactive early. And we see the support of Lundqvist just going down, and we see now Garen just being able to roll over the Cassante, not being able to give him any room to breathe. Meanwhile, the jungler is weak.
And Leon going on an invade, but Reston just punches him away. No extra minions for Mr. Tree here, as he is a camp and a half ahead. So some sort of a steal did manage to go through, but still the Vi did get the kill and is now ahead in this game.
That's really good information for in Academy, being able to accelerate those champions that needs that early advantage to be able to make things happen. And you have to one put your champions ahead, and two, you have to be able to slow down anything from the side of Darkside. Especially, I'm looking at that Garen. You do not want him to get a lead. That's too much onto the Cassandra, because then you will just be a monster in the side lane that nobody will be able to match him, because he will just run you down.
Yeah, and honestly, just this top lane, ooh, ultimate coming in. The Master Injustice just not enough. The Ignite ticking down to less than 20 HP, but Cognac lives. And now, with Cognac's level 6, he can finally fight back in those all-ins. Still, it is a slight comfy, about 300 gold lead for INT Academy. Much quieter game than last game.
I think it's a little bit more quiet because both teams are afraid to make mistakes. And
Yeah.
you mentioned that Cassandra has that ultimate and he can fight back. But actually, if you are Cassandra in the game, you do not want to use that ultimate, because then you put yourself already at half HP, and then you give Garen just a free kill because he can run at you with ultimate if he has it up, and just one-shot you basically because he put the silence and you're not able to kill yourself or do anything, and you just get one pop and use that all out because you lose so much HP and resistance if you are the Cassandra.
Well, we're gonna see that happening. Actually, as an all-out goes out. Going in does not have the ultimate, and one more Q will be enough. Connect flashes forward to go. No, it's actually shielded by Leighton. Clutch tree coming out to save his top laner. But yeah, there was a fight win for Cognac, almost a kill. As Charm goes in, Cronin takes a bit of damage, and this bot lane is actually in trouble. Max gets knocked up, has to flash away. Now Nord gets ignited at half HP. Here comes Resting, he's level 5. No flash on Armor, like he does not have the horse either, so he will get taken down. Nord very low as well, but still alive, and that's a kill for the Kalista.
2-0 in the Academy, and as I mentioned, you don't want to use your ultimate when you know that Garen ultimate is up, and
Ooh.
Cognac realized that the ultimate is still on cooldown, trying to go for that solo kill. Barely the Garen survives because he had that Ivor near him just to pop that shield and be able to walk it off.
Yeah, still, it's going to be a grub take for side of Lundqvist Darkside. Another trade. We've seen this trade happen the entire series, the entire night, and it's going to be this case in this game as well. Now, usually I like grubs more than the early Drake, but we've seen in the past 2 games how fast that soul can get online, how detrimental it can be for the team that loses it.
I mean, of course, everything depends on what kind of soul you get as well, because some Drake souls are more useful than the other ones. I mean, right now we know for sure we ain't getting a Mountain Soul and we ain't getting a Chemtech Soul because that's the 2 Drakes that are spawning right now. So we have a high chance of a really big value Drakes like a Cloud
Yeah.
Soul, like a Inferno Soul, or even like a Hextech Soul.
Even the Cloud Soul is great for either of these teams.
Of course, that's what that's what I mentioned, that the Cloud Soul is just really great. If you are either of them, I mean, honestly, the Cloud Soul is the soul that still holds the most win rate in any pro games. If
Yeah.
a team manages to get it, they win most of the games, because you have to take into consideration that over the years, Riot Games has removed movement speed from items more and more. There's less access to that movement speed that you get, and if you get that Cloud Soul, you get access to the movement speed that you usually won't be able to access through any other ways. So that's really big because many people underestimate the stat of movement speed, but it is really one of the more OP stats in the game.
Yeah, we talked about this before on stream, how 5 movement speed can completely change the way a champion plays, and like the win rate can go up by a few percent off of that very simple change. Still, the Cloud Soul, I think, is the most fun to play with because I like movement speed, and movement speed is fun. And Restin agrees with when he goes up to Amerklay. This bot lane of Ketania and Amerklay nowhere near as fat as the other 2 games. For the first time, Nord is ahead. Now, Cronin and Layton will get spotted out by the sweeper. Restin goes in, finds nothing. Layton is just there. A tree base is not being called out yet, and that will be a a scuttle secure for INT Academy.
That will be a small win, small victory.
Yeah.
Getting the scuttle, you gotta take it, take everything that you can. And as we see now, the gold rate is around 1.5k at 10 minutes. Not too bad, not too shabby. Gotta take it slow and easy.
Okay.
But at some point, you will need to realize that you are on a timer if you are those champions, and if you don't get enough gold lead, you will fall later behind.
Yeah, and right now the only gold lead, like, yes, it's good, but you need to start pressing it forward. You need to start getting those objectives. The next one spawning in 25 seconds, which should be the one that INT Academy goes for. Now they're pushing out mid, they're pushing out bot. They have a presence in the jungle, and Amerklay is knocked back, still managed to survive. Now the mid lane, Cronin does have the Ari ultimate, gets Vi ulted and flashes away. No one dies, big ultimates being blown. Still, crucially, Max has that hostile takeover, which is one of the biggest ultimates in this game right now. And INT Academy has all the presence they need to take this dragon.
That's really good news. Casilas being able to escape.
Salty might be in trouble. Flash forward from going game, and that will be a kill. Cronin will take it. And yes, you lose a Drake, but you finally at least get a kill on mid.
No flash, no ult from the Ari. Really good pickup. And you know what? You gotta get that ring hack. 2 stacks on the Darkside. Huge.
Huge. And yeah, if he continues to stack that up in the next few minutes, that we've seen what it can do the previous games. this time, both mid laners elected to go for it. Both of them want to feast this game on the enemies. And right now, 12 minutes in, I was hyping this game up to be a bit more bloody than the previous ones. Turns out it's the quietest one of them all.
I mean, I could expect that it would be
Ooh,
a quiet
as
game since
Conan wants to go in, goes on to Salty, gets the stun off, gets the roof off from Leighton as well, but Conan is now in trouble as the Vi does not have the ultimate yet for about 30 more seconds, but actually Conan goes in onto the Vi. He has the Vi ultimate and he picks up Reston. 2v2 kill on the mid lane. Salty once more. Ooh, goes in a bit too far and another kill. 3-0 now on this Silas.
Ronan, what was that? He just says to Vi, well, you don't have your ultimate, but you know who has your ultimate? I do.
Yeah. Yes, and that we see the smash down for the Vi. She gets a bit of her own medicine as 3 kills now picked up by Cronon, and we've seen what he can do with when he gets a bit away with the game, and this Silas is in the position to do so. 6 stacks on the Dark Seal, 800 gold up, and almost an item ahead now of Salty.
Yes, sir, indeed. Now Salty got a little bit too confident going back in on the Silas, and he would most likely survive, but he didn't realize that Silas had that Blackfire torch finished,
Yeah.
and that burn just finished him off as he tried to run away. And Silas now 6 Dark stack, huge, 1 item completed, that's very
Yeah.
big. And as we see right now, also we have a first purchase on the Ivern, having that redemption, and also 3 Dark stacks for the assist on the kills.
Ooh, here
As we
comes
now
Vi
see-
and desist onto Cronon. They want the shutdown. The charm lands. There's no flash, and yes, Vi picks it up. Preston gets a return vengeance onto this Silas.
I guess to this game, for the jungler of an Academy, there's no time for resting because there's time for working.
You're gonna keep on doing that, aren't you? It's
Hey,
fun,
you know what? I had to do it.
You had to, and it's good. It's hopefully you have more rest in the next few games, so you have more puns to make. Still, right now they are equal in this game, and I don't think INT Academy wants to be equal in this game right now because Cronon is so far ahead despite the death just now.
Yes, and I would say sadly, if I picked up the shutdown onto the Silas, I
Yeah.
would more like to for the Ari to get that gold, to be able to come back into the game a little bit, have more damage, because right now she has that malignance, to have more utility, to have that ultimate uptime, and be able to move around the map more. And we see now a little bit of trading the top lane, but nothing really comes out of it. Silas now moving onto the bot lane. And in the Academy, will they realize it? I think they did now, but
Ooh,
still,
flash from
Node is there. Will he be able to jump over the wall with his Q, or will he be able to walk it off?
Happy feet from Nord coming out to dodge the chains from Cronon, and he stays himself alive. He did have the flash, he did have the exhaust, but still, it's not something you want to waste in a skirmish like this. 1:30 before the Hextech Dragon, which will also be the soul this game.
Yes, this, as I mentioned, there was a high potential for any of those dragons, and we see we have that Hextech, right? Hextech soul, right? And we have in with 2 dragons already. That's a huge thing. But you have to, on the other hand, look at that Lundqvist Darkside has 6 Void Grabs, a full set of grabs, and you have Garen and you have Silas, 2
Yeah.
people that really like to side lane later into the game, and those will be a big problem when maybe there is going to be a coordinated fight, and those will slip on the side lane to be able to trade the objectives for the kills, or maybe for nothing in the later stages of the game.
I'm afraid for this Ari of Salty. He's just losing so many fights here, and he's slowly but surely he's gonna get taken down and have to TP back. And one more death right now can put you in a position where you cannot do much but be that charm bot in the mid, and that's it. And yes, he's TPing mid. We see going down very, very early because he does not have the TP. 10 seconds to that dragon. We're gonna see what these teams want to do. It's a 3v3 skirmish on the bot lane. Going Game has the first move. Stun misses from Armaclay. Now he's in trouble. Gets a lot of damage onto him, but manages to just jump back, and he's fine. Now pressure from Lundqvist Darkside, and they will start the dragon. They're also in a bush, so no vision coming out from INT Academi, and recalls coming out from them, which means that they will pick up this dragon.
Yes, they will be.
Oh no, Salty just gets taken down. Solo kill by Going Game, and that's horrible, as I just mentioned. That's so horrible for Salty.
Salty disrespecting that Garen. It wasn't too bad up until now, because what I was saying, that what I wanted to say was that you can trade that Drake and get some damage onto the top lane tower.
As Reston wants to protect that mid lane turret. The ultimate coming in from Max does barely anything. The first turret gets taken out by Lundqvist, and now, for the first time in this game, by a little, they're ahead.
They are now ahead by a little. The game got more equal right now. I wouldn't say the advantage is too much that we should worry about it. If we are in the Academy,
Cognac with Unstoppable is safe.
Cognac getting his W and being able to get out. In the meantime, Garen just handling the bot lane, being able to sit there, wait for the wave to come in, and now harnessing up the dive. The device here
by channeling Wallbreakers to good flash onto Conan. Now Conan goes back in, good knockup onto him, and all out coming out from the Silas onto the Xante. Xante gets a taste of his medicine as he goes down. Another kill picked up by Cronan. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we saw a fight coming out.
Garen got killed in the bot lane.
Yeah, Garen got killed in the bot lane. Look at this dive coming in from Cronan and Armaclay. It was actually initiated by INT, but such a good play by Cronan to take the Xante away from the fight.
Well, I guess the one that started walking right now is the Silas in this game, and not the actual Xante. Somebody trying to cosplay that Luna's X. What can I say? It's alright, it's all good. As now we see that Silas is going for that full burn build, and I would assume that he's going to backfire into Liandry's, or maybe he's going to the Witchmaker from the tanky build. We'll have to see which one of it is.
Now, the game is at 20 minutes, about 700 gold ahead for Lundqvist Darkside. It's not that big of a gold lead, but you have to think of how this game actually feels to play. Right now, INT Academi is down turrets, down vision, down tempo. They cannot get onto the map without risking death, without risking a pick, and it feels like Lundqvist is in complete control of everything that happens.
Yeah, it feels like they took control of the game.
Actually, Cognac might be in trouble. He pulls it all out onto Going Game, and manages to get under his turret. But still, it's an ultimate for relatively nothing. Trip expanded by Lundqvist, and this Atakan is on the menu for the team in red. Oh no, never mind. I thought on the menu map they were all going towards it, but they leave it away.
Yeah, I mean, it is not the Atakan with roses, the one with the revive mechanism, and that's not something.
Cognac actually casually diving. Sorry, not Cognac being dived by Cronan casually on the bot side, and this 5-1 Silas is very, very scary.
This Silas is very, very scary, and as I mentioned before, he is right now builds that
Armaclay in trouble, gets knocked up, pulled by the handshake, still manages to get out, but again, he cannot get close. Anytime he even tries to engage, he just gets denied by INT Academi. So they have done this well, and then engage comes in and he has to flash the charm to barely get out. Hostile takeover finds nothing. Cronan, first time ultimate stolen, finds nothing. the root finds Max, but that's it. Ooh,
That is it. And we see now that with the Iron on 2 items, with the Silence on 2 items, I think that slowly but surely the Lundqvist Darkside is just outscaling the game, and they're
yeah.
showing in the academy that the clock is ticking. Tick tock. You have to do something, or the game is just over.
Tick tock, tick tock. You have to do something. And 22 minutes into the game, the next objective is spawning in 10 seconds. Is the dragon still? That Atakan might be the target. The entirety team of Lundqvist Darkside is there, is able to take it. And like you said, it is just the revive, but still the revive is much better than nothing. So,
Yeah, we see now the Atakan being contested by the
yes.
side of Lundqvist Darkside. Maybe in Academy will be like, all right, we want to fight now. And if we get the kills, they will get the reviving base. But it is such a long duration that it takes 15 seconds. We, in the meantime, the reviving,
Ooh.
will be able to contest that break.
Westin's wall breaker just does not get over the wall. Now, Int Academy have targeted this dragon. It is scary because the entire team of Lundqvist Darkside is there. The dragon will be secured by the blue team. Int Academy takes it, but the fight will be taken on by Lundqvist Darkside. It's a good one at that. The ultimate from Max finds nothing, and it's already a slaughter from the side of Lundqvist Darkside. Only one character down on their side, but two already taken down by two Int Academy. Make it 3, make it 4, as Amarklis slays the last one, and that's suddenly a push from Lundqvist Darkside, and they might just end the game here.
Maybe they're going for the game ending play. Remember, they still have the Atakan revive, so they can just try and go for the end because they don't lose much, even if they die on
have
that
Shelly.
one push.
They still have Herald.
Oh, they have Shelly. All right. And will we see a dancing Shelly maybe this game? Who knows?
Well, maybe as Lundqvist Darkside is looking to end this game here, you have Daisy beating down. Daisy will not go down, actually, saved by the shield. First inhibitor turret down. First inhibitor down. 4 and to 10 the score. And yes, they're looking to end this game. Shelly is being summoned. Shelly will take the first turret, you have to think. And can Int Academy do anything? One Nexus turret already down. Resting and Max in trouble. Max gets knocked up, half HP taken, almost taking his life as well, and he will end up going down. Finally, Amarklis is withdrawing, but it's not a kill, it's not a reset. Half HP on the base. Can LDS do it? One more attack will be enough, and yes, Leighton will finish it, and that's going to be a reverse sweep for Lundqvist Darkside, and they take down Int Academy.
2-1 for Lundqvist Darkside as they take this game. And as I mentioned, the timer, it finally hit the clock. And sadly for Int Academy, the game just got out of their hands.
The player of the game poll is live. Who would you give it to this game?
I mean, this game, I would have to give it to the Silas, to that
Yes,
Conan.
Cronan, I agree.
Even though I liked how Go in game played still as well, how he managed
Yes.
to be able to utilize that Garen pick in the top lane against Xante. I think just for the fact that Conan was able to find the picks and be able to be a turn around in that mid lane fight, especially when he got those 3 kills early. He was very smart with the moves, and he was very, very precise and he knew how much damage output he had and what he was capable of doing. And he just got really ahead from that one play that put him on like a main character in that one game.
Guys, with that, we're about 1 minute away from the giveaway. Last chance to enter, type in INT win. It's a bit of a curse, but still, that's the key we have for today to enter the raffle and potentially win yourself a prize. And looking at it, I think that the chat also agrees with you. Cronan will be taking that MVP. And yes, I have to give it to him as well. The Silas play was very, very clean. He was not in trouble apart from he was in trouble once, and that's it. Otherwise, solo kills on bot lane, setting up his jungler for ganks in the middle, taking away and using the ultimates of the enemy team much better than INT Academi could, and it was a performance by Cronin.
It was indeed a performance by Cronon, and we'll have to give him that player of the game for the final game of the series. And let's just ask the question. Looking at all three games, who would you give player of the series?
I would give it to Kaitan. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I think same. I think especially game 1 and 2,
Yeah.
he showed that even if his team is not uh, at their highest performance level, he can still show up and be able to show that he is the one that's capable of carrying his team.
And yeah, like I fully agree. Game 1, he tried his best. There, he was the clear favorite on that team. Game 2, solo carry. Game 3, a bit more silent, sure, but still a rock in LDS's backline and doing a lot of damage. Sort of not even well fed that much, and I have to give that.
Yes, and as we mentioned about any players of the game or players of the series, do we have anyone from INT Academy for an interview? That's a really good question.
I believe Lundqvist
Oh no,
has the.
maybe I mean Lundqvist. I'm sorry. Now I'm the one that's mixing the teams up.
Yeah, welcome to my world. I think Lundqvist have their own stream,
Yeah,
so I think they will be there most likely later in our chat. So unfortunately, most likely no interview this time. Maybe next time. Still, now onwards
maybe.
towards that giveaway production. If we swap towards it, yes.
Giveaway time.
Giveaway time. We have 11 entries. So good luck,
Alright.
everyone, as we press that spin
All right.
button.
Drums.
Whoa. This is longer than I thought.
And we have King Blade.
Is it me?
979.
Yes, it's Kingblade 979. Congratulations for that giveaway victory. Are you in chat?
Is our boy Kingblade 979 in the chat able to claim his prize for the giveaway?
Well, we will hopefully he is. Otherwise, we'll be contacting him outside of that. Yeah, there we go. Hello, man. Holy congrats.
Congratulations. And who is this guy? Squidward. The giveaway is over. Come on, man.
Next time, we will be hosting more giveaways in the upcoming streams. So pay attention to that. We'll be putting it on our socials and on our Discord. So if you want to participate for the next ones, for the future ones, feel free to show up. Next stream is happening tomorrow, 18:30, and it will be Lazens in Division 5 going in very strong. Lazens is basically Lundqvist Darkside of Division 5 at this point, and they will be taking on, just so I confirm so I don't mess it up, do not give up in a best of 3 tomorrow at same time as today, so 18:30 CST.
Indeed, we will be able to see Lassen's play. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you are, it won't be me casting tomorrow. It will be other guys. I hope it will go really well for them. They are amazing people, and I know they will do a great job.
You'll be seeing my face a bit more tomorrow, but yes, Patrick, definitely, man. Thank you very much for being here, and definitely, we'll be hearing your lovely voice in the future streams to come. Entirety of April, Monday, Tuesday, every week we're going to have streams if we can to get as much of playoff coverage as possible. And with that, congrats, Kingblade, to the victory. You'll be getting your reward shortly. And to everyone else, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Patrick, for being here as well.
Thank you so much for having me here. And last words right now before the raid is that if you guys enjoy what we are doing here, make sure to follow us on social medias. Get on that Twitter, get on the socials. You know what's up. And as well, if you want to be a part of the community, get notified when we go live and when we have more giveaways and more streams. Be sure to join our Discord. Links are in the chat and below the stream. And also shout out to our great sponsor, Rogue Energy, for being with us.
Amazing. 10 out of 10. See ya, everyone.
Yeah.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. Feel alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Yeah.